they detained you as some defense attorney retained you because it's weird, bro. It's super
Yeah,
weird.
I
You're
know.
Well,
being
the thing
dishonest.
is, the refraction models are imperfect because they don't take into account angular resolution and whether or not the
Mm-hmm.
eye would even make a 2D image based off of the light that is reaching it. It appears that there's a limit even to that. So this notion that light is some sort of string bumping and, reflecting and bouncing like a ping
Then
pong
how did you know there
ball
was even
between
a
layers
geometric?
to reach your eye, and that once it reaches your eye, you're going to form an image. It doesn't take into account angular resolution and whether your eye would make a 2D image off of the light that
Yeah.
reaches it, and you possibly interpreting an obstruction that isn't there due to angular resolution with or without refraction. We need refraction models that take into account angular resolution now too.
You're right, but Wix is right too. And I always say I don't even understand why we even go down the whole refraction BS, because if you've never even had or ever seen in your entire life, nobody in this room nor even scientists have ever seen a geometric horizon, yet we have a freaking R value for it. I'm
Dude,
confused.
what they want to do is drag you through the mud, asking you questions about refraction whenever that's the claim
Yeah.
they have to make. That's called a shifting the burden of proof fallacy. It's so incompetent. It's ridiculous. This is his claim, not our claim. We know that the horizon is apparent because it fluctuates. It inherently can't be physical. He claims, because he thinks that consensus makes him smart, that there's a physical obstruction. It's called a geometric horizon. We know where it's located based on the radius value they gave us. It can be no further than
Right.
1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. No further than that. That's a geometrical necessitation. You can't argue about it. So we had to go test it. Now, how did you substantiate that R value if you never see the
Never
geometric
seen it.
horizon in the first place?
How did you measure it?
There's a chart. You asked the question, I'll give the answer. There's a chart Iris just posted, and it's the experiment I just described in detail. You wanted to ignore it. That's your.
We're gonna tell me, how are you measuring something if you've never
How did
seen
you go
it?
out?
No, you measure the
How can I
optical.
measure nothing?
No, geodetic
There's-
surveying
there's a
requires
way-
the geoid dimensions. You never measured it. You're scared of your religion not being true. Suck it up. We need to come together and go. I'm out.
Measure the optical effect.
All right,
No,
see you
just look
later.
at the chat.
There's a way if you go up on a
You're
high.
done, you're finished.
There's a way if you go up a high mountain and you look down, right? There's a way with geometry. Yeah.
With what? To see what?
You go up on a high mountain, you look down,
Mhm.
you form a triangle with where you're at the top. There's
Okay.
where, yeah, where
Okay.
you're looking at is the far side, and then you have the base. So you do some geometry. You say, here's how far it is to the horizon.
But the bottom leg of your triangle is a line to a horizon where there's a bunch of optical information being sandwiched into a line and
Right.
You're laughing.
So your angle is already
you're
off
laughing
because it's
at
got a bunch of angle that's cut off and a bunch of distance that's already cut off to that apparent location by angular resolution.
Right.
Have a bit of
So
a
that
problem.
apparent location is not your geometric horizon that you guys keep trying to measure that you've never seen because you can't show it to me. There's not even one video, not freaking one in this world that exists that shows a geometric horizon. Not a freaking even picture. It shows you a what? An apparent horizon. That's not where it should be.
What's the
For that
difference?
geometric one. Because you have to have that geometric horizon, honey. And you
What's the
don't.
difference?
Because you don't have a radius without it.
You're not telling me what the difference is.
One, you
the way
believe
that
is a physical
you're
place,
talking
an obstruction. The other one is not a physical place or obstruction to that. No, it's not a physical place. You cannot go to the apparent horizon. It's where it appears to be, not where it actually is.
You're forgetting about
I'm still
angular
not hearing what the
resolution.
difference is.
You're forgetting about angular resolution. When light becomes so sandwiched, all you see is an uninterpreted line, and you're trying to make angles and triangles off of this line where a bunch of optical information is being sandwiched, compressed, and lost. So the
Yeah,
way that you're
before
thinking about
people-
light is a little off.
Before people were trying to make it fit a model, they just went up and looked.
You can't just go up and look and measure on a place that's not even a physical place. It's always changing. So you're literally taking measurements that are not correct and accurate. So therefore, how are we getting a radius that's never changing, 24/9 circumference? Please explain that.
But isn't everything you see apparent?
Yes,
No.
that is true.
And yes.
But
What's
No.
not apparent?
No, it's not. It's not
And not
apparently in front of me. This
What?
this rose that's right here in front of me within an inch or two. It's not apparent. It's right there.
So
I
what's
can
the difference?
physically measure it.
What's the difference between that and the horizon then in your mind?
Because the
If you touch the
horizon,
rose,
go
it's
ahead.
there. If you touch the horizon, it's not there.
What happens if
Exactly. Thank
something's
you.
like 10 yards away from you? You can't touch it. Is that still apparent or is that now?
If
It's
you
10
walk
yards
up
away,
to
you
it and it's
measure it.
right where you
Yeah.
see it, yes.
But is that real or is that actual? Or is
Okay.
that,
Oh, whoa. Okay. You know, I'm explaining this real quickly. I'm gonna walk 10 miles to something, and it's right there. And I touch it, right? But I walk 10 miles to supposedly the apparent location where your horizon is, and the horizon changes. It's no longer there anymore.
Are you
It's not
listening to
real.
okay, but
yourself, really?
It's something that you
But the
never touch. It's like a
geometric
rose that
has
just
to
keeps
be
getting
a real
further and further
place.
away.
no, it doesn't, right? It
Has
just
to
Getting
be.
further
It's
and further away.
no more than 1.225. Don't tell me it's not.
But
For
when
that
you
ball in the
walk,
geometric. Go
but
ahead.
when you walk there, it's going to be 1.2 miles away from you again, right? So no matter where, you can't
No.
ever get there because it always moves.
No. No, the geometric horizon no one's ever seen. I've never seen it at all. I'm sorry. There's been a horizon 8 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles. Where is the geometric one, please?
But according to what you just described, you said you should be able to walk to someplace and touch it. Well, but if every time you walk to it, it moves further away, then of course you're never going to be able to touch it, right?
But you
What?
say the
Because it's
horizon's a hump. So
apparent.
you need
Yeah,
to be able to walk to
Stacey,
this
you can't
hump
do this
and
silly.
touch it. You still
Stacey,
need to be able to
you
walk to
cannot
this
do
hump
this
and touch it. You can't do
Listen
that.
to his point. Lemon, don't interrupt him. Listen to his point. You can't walk and touch something 1.22 miles away if it is constantly going to be outpacing or outdistancing you because of the
Why
curvature.
would it be? No. A geometric horizon would not be doing that. Are you kidding
That's
me?
how a curve works. That's how a curved surface
Are you?
works.
There should be an obstruction of the earth.
No, no, you think it's like the brick walls sitting there waiting for you to touch? No.
You tell me what you're trying to
You
see and
cannot- your
measure.
brain
Please
cannot-
explain.
Your brain cannot.
Physically.
Your brain. It's like touching a rainbow. It's like touching a
You're being a
rainbow.
little
Why
bit
can't you
disingenuous
touch a
here.
rainbow? It's
The fact
physical.
that you're
Yes.
walking
Why
on the earth
can't you
to
touch
get
a
to the
rainbow?
horizon means you're walking on the earth, which is
Can't hear you,
the
sorry.
physical geometric shape you're looking for.
But even the rainbow belies what you say because when you hover in the air, the rainbow is a ring that's hovering in the air. But from the ground, it looks like a bowed hoop that approaches and goes down below the horizon. But when you raise up higher, you see that it's a hula hoop that is suspended in the air,
circle.
just like the sun,
Are you
moon, and
listening to
stars,
yourself?
which are revolving over the flat
Are you
plane.
listening to yourself, really? Come on.
No, that's the truth. If you
Not
actually go
the
up high
truth.
enough, a rainbow is not an arch like a
the
dome.
truth.
It's literally like a circle. Don't
It's
play.
true. You don't go higher and see that rainbow as being a circle.
So if you
So,
see
There's
something
plenty
going
of
in a
stuff to prove
similar
that.
yes,
circular
not
path
that
to that
rainbow that
rainbow, it
goes
will look
from
like the
side to
rainbow
side.
arching up and down, just like the sun, moon, and stars.
Go walk to a rainbow and find the base. See what happens. Good luck with that.
But anyway, the thing is,
Yeah,
if
but
your
anyway,
geometric
that's weird.
horizon is the edge
That
of a
weird. But anyway,
ball,
it's up
you
to
need to
you.
be able to touch that hump with a laser. Otherwise, it is like the rose that's in front of you that keeps on getting further and further away the further you try to get
Do you
closer to
know
it.
how
You never
you know
reach it.
how a rainbow?
I'm actually kind of getting upset. You say you can't touch a rainbow because you can create a rainbow in your yard with stuff and particles
With
that are
the
right there in
water
front of you, and you can put your
sprinkler.
hand right in it. Right there's the
Well,
rainbow where it's existing.
Then
Don't
how
play
is
games with
that
me.
special? If you can create
No,
one in
so
your yard with a water sprinkler.
I never brought up the rainbow as an
All
argument.
right.
Y'all
Some
did.
people do.
I
No,
brought
Kuno
up
does.
rainbow. I brought up the rainbow to show that it is a hoop that is suspended above the ground, that if you
Correct.
get close enough to the flat surface, it looks like an arch that is going above and below the horizon, just like anything that is a similar hoop going in a similar hooped path, like the sun, moon, and stars over the flat plane to make that connection. If you don't want to make the connection, that's fine, but the connection appears to be there.
It's like talking to a bunch of kindergartners. This
What
is
is-
really ridiculous.
What is the hooponomics, as Dr. Wyra says?
Hooponomics, yes. It's a hoop that's suspended above the ground. Anything that goes in a similar plane, like that rainbow, that hoop above the ground, like the sun, moon, and stars revolving over the flat plane, will look just like the rainbow arching up and down above the horizon if you're close enough to the flat plane. That's what we've been saying.
It looks just like your sprinkler if you're close enough to it.
Stacey,
That's what
I
we're
got a
saying.
question for you. You mind answering?
Sure.
I'm asking it to Stacy. That sounded like Lemon.
Stacy.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna get a coffee. Go ahead, ask me a question, honey. I'm just doing stuff too. Go ahead.
As far as the geometric horizon and not being able to get to it, if you take a telescope and look at a spot on the ground a mile away, and you see that there's a fork in the road, for example, can you walk to that fork in the road?
If there's an actual fork physically in the road of pavement, I can walk to it if I'm seeing it and on a telescope or whatever you want to do. Yes, but you can't walk to an apparent location.
Hang
You
on.
can, but you ain't get a physically video
This
change.
fork in the road for our example here is going to be. Oh, hang on.
I know you're gonna put like a marker.
The fork in the road is going to be at the horizon for our little thingy here. So why can't you see beyond the fork in the road when you're a mile away? But when you get to the fork in the road, you have no issue seeing the next mile.
Of course, because my eyes cannot see that damn far. Are you serious? Am I supposed to see Africa with my eyes too? I mean,
I said you
bam.
zoomed in with the telescope. You magnified
But that's
your vision.
still only so much, hon. A telescope can only zoom in to a certain capacity. I mean, are we trying to see the other side of the world, people, with telescopes
That's
and
not
stuff?
what I'm saying, but you should be able
So what
to
are
see
we saying?
something.
Okay.
If you take your normal vision and you magnify it 50 times, you agree with me, you should be able to see a little bit further, right?
Of course I can. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then why can't you, in this example, why when you look at that fork in the road, you don't see anything? Even if you magnify it 100 times, you can magnify it so much that you can see the detail on a lapel of someone standing there, but you can't see further beyond them.
The light's too compressed at the level of the eyes. If the light's too compressed, two light rays merge into one, you have no 2D image. So this is a diffraction through the
Be able
optic.
to magnify the lapel of the person standing in my little fictitious example here. That's not the right
You would
answer.
not be able to magnify and separate the light that is coming in at the level of the eyes of the optic. At the eye level of the optic, you got two rays that are sandwiching on top of each other so much, there are two rays merged into one, and for all intents and purposes, treated as one unresolvable line.
That is incorrect, and I wasn't asking you. I was asking
Well,
Stacey.
I understand. There's only so far you're going to be able to see, hon. Our vision can only allow so much, all that stuff. Look, and I'm not here to say I know all this about perspective and what you're seeing and all that. A lot more people in the community can tell you this, and that's why Lemon's standing up. And that's why we have a group of people with different information and knowledge so that we can help understand. I'm not saying I know it all. I don't put my hand up and go, I know everything. No.
So yet
But
again,
what I've
the
seen with my
answer
own
is
dang
the
eyes
light
is
is
different.
So
Okay.
yet again, the answer is the light is too compressed at the level of the eyes in the optic, where two rays are merging into one, and there's no magnification no matter what optic you're dealing with. It's just too compressed.
That is not the right answer. There is no
What is the
reason
right
that
answer
you
then, hon?
listen and you might learn. There's
Okay.
no reason that you can zoom in on an object. In our example, someone standing at that fork in the road at the horizon. There's no reason that you can zoom in and make out clear details of that person, but can't see beyond that point at the horizon. There's absolutely no reason that you can zoom in optically, magnify an image, and can't see beyond that spot.
Are you focusing on the light and how it's hitting the center of the optic? Because if the light is too crowded on the center of the optic, you will not have any magnification or any 2D image rendered anyway. It seems like you're focusing too late in the process on the rendered image that you can zoom in on or whatever after it's been rendered, when you need to focus on the process before about whether or not the light is too crowded on the center of the optic to make a 2D image anyway. It's just too crowded on the sensor. You're not going to get a 2D image with the amount of.
You're talking about cameras, dude. I'm talking about pure optics. There's no sensor. There's no nothing. It's pure magnification.
They have sensors too. Now we're playing semantic games. There's sensors in your eyes and sensors in the optic.
You're not answering the question.
It is. Again, it's just answering it in a way that you're not used to hearing. The light can't be too crowded on the sensor of the optic, otherwise all you get is an unresolvable line at the level of the eyes of the optic. No magnification is going to separate those light rays and make them far enough apart on the sensor so that it can generate a 2D image. Look into the Rayleigh criteria. Look into the diffraction limit. Look into the way that physics and optics, operate from a new flat perspective.
If they operated that way, and what you're saying is true, you would have no image. You would have a blob. But we do have an image. We see that.
Have a horizon line.
Why would you say that?
You are making absolutely no sense.
Because what you're saying
about a sharp terminator at the horizon.
Yeah,
we're not talking about blobs or blurs or images or haziness or not being able to resolve images beyond a point of view. We're talking about a sharp terminator where you can't see beyond it, aka the horizon. Nothing that you've said.
What you're talking about, the Rayleigh criteria would make hold on. It would make everything. Lemon, it would make everything look indistinct, like a little blurry blob. But that's not what we're talking about.
What is, actually, what is the point of this conversation, actually? What are you trying to prove here? Because how far is that damn horizon? And is it a geometric one? Which one are you trying to sit here and talk about still, though? We're wasting our time on optics that you can't prove shit on, and you won't even take his advice, what he's saying.
That's a good question.
He's contesting it because they're saying that it should be a blob instead of a distinct line. So they're having a stylistic difference. They're saying if what I said was true, it would be a blob of mess as opposed to a distinct line. That may be a bad assumption. Look into the video, maybe get a new perspective.
That's not what anyone is saying, Lemon.
Make was that if you can zoom in on someone at that horizon spot, a
Where's
mile
that
or 2 miles or
horizon?
whatever along the way, and you can physically walk to that spot and then see further beyond it,
Okay.
it's not optics that's preventing you from seeing beyond that spot. It's the fact that the spot that you're standing on right now was the horizon, and that's what was blocking you from seeing further.
Your eyes created that horizon and that viewpoint. What the heck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That your eyes
That is not a physical place. You can only see so far, and that you will. Come on. No, I didn't agree with you. Because that horizon is always changing.
Geometry, man.
I could stand there and look at the horizon 8 miles, 10 miles. How comes it keeps changing?
Based on the optics, if you don't know the geometry.
We both agreed that that fork in the road was at the horizon. That is the physical spot at the horizon where you can't see further than.
Just because you couldn't see further, all of a sudden it's a freaking globe? Huh?
If you can walk to
that
spot
tell
and
him about
stand there, then you are
What
at
the
physical
hell?
spot obstructing you from seeing
Stacy,
further.
try to think through. Try to think through what that means.
Oh, I'm thinking very clearly right now, wondering what the hell is going on. Go ahead, I'll hold on.
I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry,
Where's your
Scott.
geometry? Where's your geometry? And I'm telling you, you're standing on the geometry and you're wondering where
Scott,
it is.
you're really low. You're really low.
You're a bit
Okay,
quiet,
I'm gonna
Scott.
fix it in a second.
I,
One at
I
a
think
time, guys.
I think Monkey
One at
was
a time.
trying to make a point, and he seemed to
Hold
get
on, one at a
trampled
time,
on a
guys,
few
one at a time.
times.
Can we just keep in mind whose turn it is next, and just get an order going, and don't just try your hardest not to overtalk. I'll fix that lowness in a second. Please, I beg you. All right, go ahead, Monkey. And then after Monkey, then Stacy, then Hug, and then keep going.
Okay, go ahead, Monkey.
No, I was just gonna say, like, Stacy, what does that even mean for what you're saying? Like,
I wasn't actually saying anything. You guys were trying to explain to me something, and I said, what does that mean? Have anything to do with how you're measuring the radius and how you got that based on a horizon that keeps changing, whether you get to that spot that's 8 miles away in your view or 10 miles away in your view at that time. It doesn't matter. It's an apparent location. So please explain to me how you got your freaking mass to match your ball. It's not existing at all in nature.
I was trying to understand what you meant by it's apparent or it's changing or
well,
whatever.
apparent means it appears somewhere. Okay. Oh yeah, you can probably okay. Look at say put it there. It's 8 miles away. Let's walk 8 miles up. This is where the horizon was. Okay, now it's somewhere else. I'm not looking for the apparent one. Where is the geometric one that you guys all got your R value from?
Now, if you walk to that 8 miles, like you said, and it looks different from where you were at, would the geometric one change as well? Seems like it would.
Your geometric horizon is supposed to be no more than 1.225, right? So why am I seeing an apparent one? I never see a geometric one. You've never seen it, but you're measuring it. How?
Yeah. Would one of those legs of that triangle that you're measuring, wouldn't that be where you're standing at?
Nope. Because look, you're measuring one of those triangles as an apparent location. It appears to be somewhere. So I don't care what you're measuring, it's automatically incorrect. You're not measuring correctly.
All right, cool.
Well, the thing is, you can't measure something that keeps changing. It's like trying to measure a 10-foot car, and then all of a sudden you measure it and it's 20 feet. And then you try to measure the 20 feet, it turns into 30 feet. And then you never quite get to the end of it with your measuring stick. That's what's happening with the horizon. You're changing the horizon to say this is a physical boundary that needs to be unchanging, the top of a sphere, and this is where it is when you hit it with the laser to saying, oh, it can move as far out as needed over a sphere. That's equivocation. That's not going to work.
But we don't measure the circumference of the Earth by measuring to the horizon, as you guys well know. So
The horizon is assumed
I
to
wonder why
be
you're
a globe
pretending.
obstruction, and the ratio of the distance to the horizon relative to your height is made equal to the distance to the horizon relative to the other side of the ball. That is what gives you your sphere.
Okay.
That foundational assumption.
Okay. We don't measure the circumference of the Earth by measuring the horizon, and I don't know why you people are pretending that we do, but we don't. So probably stop pretending that we do.
So let's see, 6 feet relative to the horizon. That's far out of 3 miles. 3 miles times 5,280 feet is, let's see, 5280 times 3. 15,840 feet. The ratio of 6 over that, 15,840, is set equal to the ratio of 15,840 to the other side of the Earth. So let's see what we get when we get it at 3 miles. Let's see this. The ratio of 6 feet to that is 0.0003 and some change. So that ratio would be equal to 15,840 over the diameter of the Earth. Solving for that, shit. Fuck me.
Oh my god.
You're okay, Lemon.
Lemon realized the Earth was a globe right then, didn't you?
No.
Well, I mean, let's assume he's got to the end of this lengthy calculation. What I will say to him at the end of it is that that's why we don't measure the circumference of the Earth by measuring the distance of the horizon. So,
Oh, but you guys have, because your geodetic surveying does that automatically from using old measurements.
It doesn't do that at all, and you know that's not.
Well, we won't argue back and forth on that because we did that on another show. It's been already aired.
You can pretend that the people who went to, as I've pointed out to you many times now, Stacey, the people who went to actually discover what the actual shape of the true shape of the Earth was, that you're saying that in order to discover the true shape of the Earth, their starting point was the true shape of the Earth. So if you think that that's a logical argument that you can continue to make,
I didn't make it.
Well, that's what you've just said.
No, that's what Wikipedia says. That geodetic surveying is all based on previous measurements of the Earth. Not my claim.
Pitiful that you guys are unable to derive, a coherent meaning from your own native language. But I guess that's a cross you will have to bear.
But Jim, the problem is like you're literally looking at a horizon that's flat, and you said that and see that, but it's refracted for you. So therefore, you're like, there's the curve because I see a flat horizon. There's my curvature. That kind of mindset is scary.
That isn't the mindset. That's just silly.
Okay, so Stacey, I'm going to ask you a couple questions here, and I have a couple pictures. And first of all, I want you to understand what I'm going to show you. One picture, I'll show you the horizon dropping from level. Okay, that's a picture you've seen many times. That's a high altitude, and you can say that's refraction because the horizon could be whatever it could be because of refraction. You just give that as this random variable. But then I give you a picture of the mountaintops, right? And the mountaintops that are within respect with each other, and one is higher or lower. And that can change day to day very, very slightly, but very, very slightly. But when it doesn't change, when we change elevation, that tells us there's no refraction. Because if there was refraction, by definition, that position would change. If it doesn't change, then there can't be refraction. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? So when I show
if there's no refraction, then how far away is that horizon? Is it only no more than 1.225 then? Please answer that.
We're talking about other methods to measure the curvature of the Earth. So it's very easy to see two mountains with respect to another, one twice as far as the other, all taking into account perspective. And if one mountain is lower than it should be by a significant amount, we're talking about thousands of feet off that mountain where it lines up, and that's probably about 4 or 5 degrees, then we know that the Earth is curved. Okay. Now you say, oh, well, maybe that further mountain, let me finish, that further mountain has been refracted. Well, okay, that's a valid question and valid, assumption maybe. But if you raise your altitude and see the position of that mountain with respect to the closer mountain, and it doesn't change where it should be based on this curvature, or it doesn't change with respect to the other measurement as far as the predicted curvature, then there is no refraction. Because if there was refraction, it would change. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on. It doesn't change with altitude.
You're kind of proving our point by saying that. Keep going, babe.
Can I jump in after
So
Zanuck?
if it doesn't change with altitude, then there is no refraction, because by your definition, again, I'm saying it 3 times, refraction would have to change that measurement as you go up, because the angle of incidence changes. Does that make sense? So we don't see a change. So there's
no, you guys keep putting refraction on things that you can't even prove that refraction should be put on. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Zanuck, let me get in real quick, please. Jem just said we don't ever measure the distance to the horizon to get the radius, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so do you want to retract when you said we're measuring the angle of the horizon as proof of the R? Or are you still...
That's not how we currently do it.
Well,
okay.
That was his proof
hold on.
that Zanuck used 20 minutes ago. The dip angle and the distance, there's not... What?
Oh, hold on.
Breaking up.
You're breaking up a lot. But first of all, measuring the angle to the horizon is different to measuring the distance to the horizon. That's a different calculation.
It's still incorrect.
Hang on. Still talking. You need to censor me. Okay, you go ahead. Best that we don't hear how this is actually done, and then it'll still work for you. Go ahead. Right, so measuring the dip angle to the horizon is not the same as measuring the distance to the horizon.
I thought you were done, Jim. My bad. You're getting an angle to something. My bad. Go ahead.
Fuck's sake.
What the fuck, Jeremy?
Oh, no. So, because you are getting an angle for something, but as we know, if there is what the angle is the effective elevation of the horizon with respect to you. And as we know, even with refraction, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Even with refraction, that isn't going to change very much. And then it isn't going to change that angle very much from your position. And then when you make the calculation, you're using cosine. So that is going to make the difference even smaller in your end calculation. So that's why you can use this method as a method of measurement. I'm not saying it can never be used, but the Al-Biruni measurement does not form the basis of our modern measurements.
Can I understand how you're getting the angle without knowing the distance? You'd have to get the angle, and it doesn't even matter because is it the geometric one or is it the apparent one? You're still getting the angle for. Incorrect then.
Do you want us to walk you through it? I have the pictures up there now.
No, Zanuck, what I would like from you is to be quiet when I'm speaking for a second, because every time I do, you want to cut me off so you can get your point across. It's quite invalid. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't. We measure distance.
Zanuck, come on.
I was answering that, then you kept on talking.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spend a lot of time arguing about how this is done because it's pointless. But you do not need the distance.
You need it for the radius.
Hang on.
You don't. That's what
You're measuring the angle. You don't require the distance. But who cares? Who cares? Even if you do. I don't care. It's irrelevant. It's not how our modern measurements are derived. And I don't think we should engage too long on this because it feeds into the idea that it is how these measurements are derived.
Oh, my bad, Jem. I think I was lagging earlier.
All right, mate. No worries.
Yeah, I know. I've been actually, I have people talking to me too. I apologize. I did hear most of that though.
Very bad mood.
Well, no, you're not. I actually think you're in a decent mood because you're not screaming. You know?
It's very quiet today at work for some reason.
My problem is if you're getting angles to something, you're getting angles to what? The apparent locations that's always changing, an angle to it, and it's still you'd have to know where it's at to get the angle.
But did you hear me say that angle isn't going to change very much, even with refraction, because it is just an angle. So if that horizon is hopping up and down, if it's moving up and down, like in the Skunk Bay footage, if that's what we're seeing, that from your position, several miles away or whatever it may be, that angle isn't going to be very different, even though it's the horizon might be moving up and down. It just isn't.
So why am I seeing a horizon? Like, honestly, the geometric horizon should be no more than 1.225. Is that correct, Jim?
Well, that doesn't take account of refraction.
Okay, right. But you just said earlier, just now, that you're looking at stuff that doesn't even want, no refraction. Yet how far away is it?
I didn't say anything about no refraction. It's always going to be.
We didn't. You said if we go up high enough, right? You did say that's just not going to go.
Okay. Well, there's certainly going to be. It's certainly not going to be the problem. It is.
So there's no refraction, and we're seeing 8 to 10 miles, and there goes that ball.
No, it doesn't. Really doesn't.
There could be the same amount of. There could be the.
I mean, in these long-distance observations, we see what was just described, and there's a number of examples of this now.
But you said there's a refraction, and so why am I seeing a refracted geometric horizon?
Can I finish? And there's a number of examples of this now, where we're at the observer is at a known elevation on a mountain, and you have two other mountains in front of them, one beyond the other, both of known elevations. And from this, we can easily see, especially over these long distance observations, curvature of the Earth, because we see a mountain in the far background that is higher than the mountain in our foreground, and yet its peak is lower than the mountain in our foreground. So, and there's a number of examples of this. But Miles Davis, I think, has.
Can we just go back, please? This is very important. Did you not say, though, that when you're looking at these observations, that when you end up in elevation, that there is no refraction? No, you didn't even count refraction, yet we're seeing how many miles away? But somebody in the chat saying you didn't say that, and I'm not trying to call you out, because in reality, that's what you guys believe. How can you say that and then say the other?
I didn't say there was no refraction. I've never said that.
If anybody can clip that, please, and send that to me, I would love that. Thank you.
I didn't mention this. I think you're talking about somebody else, because I think somebody else said something about.
Jesus, even if he did say it, he's obviously explaining it to you right now that that's not the case.
He's explaining to me that it's not the case. So then what are you explaining again? Please go over again, because you said when you went up further, I know what was said.
Shut up and listen, Stacy.
I am and have been. Stop.
I think you might be able to get to a position where it was so negligible it wasn't affecting your results much. But I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much. But the other thing you can do, of course, is you can take multiple measurements and then take then take an average of those multiple measurements.
Average?
Yes.
Why are we not having specific measurements, right? Because we're measuring an apparent location that's going to be changing all the time, and that's going to give us our R value that's never changing, immensely accurate, the NASA says. Immensely accurate.
If we took an average, if we did take an average of such measurements, and don't forget, this isn't the measurement of the R value, is it? This would be a measurement amongst many measurements which would contribute to that. But if we did that, and we did it on multiple days, and we took an average of those measurements, what would be the problem with that?
Because how are you sitting and measuring on an angle of something that is always changing?
Well,
always
changing. Each day, you take a measurement.
But no, it changes for each person's perspective of where they're at. So then we're going to just keep claiming that, hey, the Earth is this, the Earth is that, when the measurements are always incorrect, and we're going to put them together and go, well, it's an average. And let's make this clear. NASA actually, wait, please. I just want to say one sentence, I swear. NASA actually says on the societyis.com that these measurements are immensely accurate. But we're taking measurements that we're going to just figure them out and put them together?
Well, NASA's measurements are immensely accurate.
How?
And you don't.
Well, feel free, Scott. I'll get this out very quickly. Well, NASA radar scanned the Earth, so a lot of their measurements, the ones we use in Google Earth, they all come from NASA's radar scanning of the Earth.
Oh, so Google Earth's correct now as well?
Well, Google Earth.
So we're sitting?
It's correct
because it's definitely not. And it's been proven multiple times that Google Earth changes all the time.
Am I allowed to answer?
Go ahead.
It's correct to within a certain tolerance, but data like this, accurate elevation data of everywhere on Earth, that's a military secret. It's not.
So now it's a military secret. That's why we don't know and understand why we have the radius that we have. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Come on. Why do you
know? Freaking confused.
Hang on,
That's not what he said. Just listen to what he said.
Okay.
In Google Earth, it's there's a, I can't remember what the vertical, there's a vertical resolution, so and a horizontal resolution. So the scanning has a certain resolution. So for instance, if you have a cliff, where you have a cliff, you won't get very accurate elevation measurements because there's a sudden drop, and that will fall, might fall within, if you like, for want of a better phrase, 1 pixel of the scanning. And so that won't be detected until you get to the edge of the next bit of it. And then you'll see where the drop is. So you won't, if you see a cliff, what are you wowing at? What's the big problem?
I'm confused that seriously why I'm listening, not me, but you guys are hearing this, and actually this is your proof for what we're standing on?
Nobody's offered this as proof for anything. I'm just explaining.
Yeah, why do you keep doing that?
Okay.
I know.
No, I mean, I'm wanting the proof, and this is what you guys are giving me.
Well,
every time you ask the question, he's answered it, and then you said that's your proof of something much larger than what you asked for.
Away from you, a known distance.
Have I not just been asking for the proof of the radius? That's what I've been asking the whole time.
Yes, that's true. But at this point in our conversation, we're talking about the radar scanning of the Earth and how that was used in Google Earth, right?
Because you said
because you literally said that Google Earth is run the same way from the radar, so I asked if you thought it was accurate, and you guys said yes, and then now you're like, well, maybe not. My brain is going, what?
You said you're making this up as you go. Then he's being very clear. He's told you what's accurate. We'll and you say Google's not accurate. He says yes, it is. He says
not accurate.
It's been super. Well, it is. We think it is. We think you're wrong about that. So that's where the debate is.
So it's never changed over the years.
It's accurate.
That's why. How in the world does that what you get from the word accurate? Accurate doesn't mean it's never changed.
Accurate.
Accurate does not mean it's never changed.
Whoa. Has the radius ever changed?
Stacey, could you do me a favor?
Based on the same shit, right?
Could you not do all the noises and the incredulity? It's very distracting.
Whatever.
It doesn't seem fair.
Just get to the point.
I just told you the point. Accurate doesn't mean that it changed. It doesn't change. That's the point. Next question.
The Earth has
oh my God.
Then why are you still talking?
That's true statement. What is your problem?
Stacey, the Earth changes.
Accurate.
The Earth
accurate.
Changes. The Earth
changes. It does?
Yes. Yes.
Then how often has it changed? Wait. How often has the radius changed, Jim?
All the time. Now, hold on. Not the radius. I didn't say the radius.
But wait a minute. But that's the size of the Earth. You say it changes. So can you please explain to me?
I'll explain it to you. That means you have to shut up and listen. You said Google Earth changes. I'm pointing out one of the reasons why Google Earth changes. Because the Earth changes. There are earthquakes, landslides, glaciers moving, floods. There's a whole load of shit going on. Deserts that are expanding. Lakes that dry up. There's a whole load of stuff that changes.
So the Earth is expanding, but the radius never changes?
Did I say
what? Why do you keep doing that, Stacey? He didn't say that.
I'm asking.
Did I?
No, I'm asking.
You're suggesting that he said that.
Did I say
because that's what you're basically almost claiming. You're saying the Earth is always moving and changing.
No.
You didn't say the Earth is expanding.
I listed things that were changing. The thing I said was expanding was desert. Right. That means.
How does that work on your globe that never changes because it's immensely accurate?
It does change. He just told you it changed. What are you doing?
And I said, how does that work? I said, how does that work?
He didn't say expanding. He did not.
He just did say he said expanding. He just did say he said expanding. Don't.
When he says expanding, the desert expands by going over the larger surface area. When you say the Earth is expanding, you mean the radius is increasing. There are two different kinds of expanding.
It means where there was vegetation on the edge of the desert, that vegetation dies off and becomes desert. That's an expansion of the desert, not the Earth.
Okay, so the Earth is it's not changing then? Okay, just the things around it are evolving and moving and doing something different, but it never expands.
New cities are built. New cities are built. Cities are made bigger. Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
So just one thing, it was just because you seem to be very hung up on exactly what is factual and not factual, and you don't want to hear the wrong answer. We think the Earth is changing its radius ever so slightly over time. And I don't know exactly what the mechanisms are. In fact, it's controversial. But the amount that it changes by is by millimeters. Millimeters over hundreds of years kind of change. If you look it up, you will see that they will say the Earth's radius, they think, changes, either compresses or expands. I don't even remember which. Very, very slight amount.
Okay. Well, that's what I was asking. Do you guys believe that the radius is changing? So the answer is yes, but by a small, minute amount. That should have been your answer. I was asking a question.
I happened to read about this like 2 days ago. I had never heard of it before. And I think Jim's never heard of that before. So most of us probably don't know it.
Well, I have. I talked about this before. So if the Earth is, I say that they say all the time, land's coming up here, land's doing this. Do you guys even know if the radius is changing? I've asked this and nobody's answered me. So I'm actually glad that you did. Maybe it was something that came up in your face and now we're talking about it. But you guys get mad when somebody asks a question that actually has some logic to what you're saying.
I don't get mad at logical questions ever.
Okay, well, I'm glad you answered me at least on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a logical question.
Is she on the phone with someone else, like off the Discord? I mean, she was talking to.
What are you talking about, Zach?
I have a logical question.
We couldn't hear who you're talking to.
I think people can. You probably can't.
Whoever you're talking to is not lighting up.
I have a logical question.
Wait, I'm in the middle of.
Hi, Kia.
Just tell him to re-log in because he's not hearing everybody.
Who are you talking to?
Did you do that, Stacey?
I was talking to Scott the whole time. We were going back and forth. I thought everybody could hear me fine. And Jim, I'm hoping everybody can hear me.
He has a mute and a deafen.
We all hear you, Zanuck. Connect and reconnect or something.
Okay.
Maybe go eat some lunch.
So you heard Scott and I couldn't.
Yes, Zanuck. You disconnect and reconnect.
It's
or something.
you, Zanuck.
That's all I wanted to know.
Hey,
You're the problem, as usual.
How do we measure a millimeter change of the radius of the Earth?
I'm not saying that we do. I just said that that's what they think is happening. I read this like 2 days ago. Never heard of it before.
Can you say test?
Hold on, Zanuck. Hold on, Zanuck.
So it's not a measurement. It's just a theory.
I don't know. I literally just read this as a conclusionary article.
Okay.
Randomly skimming through some stuff. I don't have any details for you. What I suggest you do is, Zanuck, what are you doing?
Okay.
What I suggest you do is Google it and see what you can find, and then let us know.
Zanuck, do you have Beach on mute or something?
Yeah.
How do we physically measure the radius of the Earth in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Which we kind of got completely off topic, which is straw man me the hell out.
Much less the millimeter change getting greater or lesser. How
over the years, right?
Haven't you guys been talking about the different ways we've done it?
You guys are talking about measuring angles to the horizon, which is absolutely ridiculous. You can't do that. But it's okay.
Measured angles to mountains in distance that are a known distance away.
Then you guys did GPS and radar. Sorry, radar.
Radar.
Make the appropriate measurement.
Yes.
Why would the angle to the horizon be bullshit, Stacy?
We were talking about
because the horizon, we've done this already, the horizon that you're getting an angle from, right, is not a physical location. It is literally a point of light that you're seeing that is apparent.
Yeah. You can form a triangle with whatever point you're at to the horizon. Yeah?
And now you have.
But why are you getting a measurement for something that is always moving? Question mark.
Always moving doesn't matter.
Oh, it does matter.
If I go to measure a 2x...
Why does it matter?
Because if I go to measure a 2x4...
That's an immensely accurate radius.
Yo, Stacy, if I'm at a mountain and I look at the horizon and I form a triangle, boom, there it is. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I might be in Hawaii. I might be in California.
There it is.
I might...
You guys hear me?
There it is. I might be in California. I might be in Canada. I might be wherever it is. I can still form a triangle.
Yeah.
All right.
But it doesn't give you the accurate measurement.
Yeah, it does every time.
It doesn't. And even earlier they said they would give this over and over and test. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. No, I don't want to interrupt you mid-sentence. I thought my mic was fucked up.
Oh, you're okay. I know we're all having issues with
Now,
on
if I go to
Discord, so I
measure
want
a
to make
2x4,
sure.
oh, sorry. Now, if I go to measure a 2x4, right, but the 2x4 keeps changing its length, how am I ever going to be able to measure it? It keeps changing.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
No,
dude?
This is where margin of error
that doesn't
comes
have
in.
anything to what.
So if
That doesn't have anything to do with what I just said.
It absolutely does.
I want to measure.
Why?
You
What
guys
does
want
that
to
have to do with
measure?
that, Stacey? Explain that, will you? Hold on,
Yeah,
wait, Stacey, will
explain
you
that.
explain
Okay.
what you mean by that?
If a piece of board is supposed to be, say, 6 feet, and then it keeps changing 8 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, I mean, how am I ever going to have the accurate measurement of that piece of
But
wood?
how does that relate to
I
what
can't tell
Monkey
you.
said, though? Monkey gave you a method of doing it, and his method didn't involve things
Because
changing.
his measurement is always changing because it's based on an apparent location that is not physical, and it has different measurements every time. You can't tell me it doesn't.
Stacey, compare this to something that's actually related to the known numbers, right? So, like, let's say you measure a distance. You measure it by different methods, like measuring tape, walking number of steps, firing a laser and seeing the return, and that kind of thing, right? And all of them ranges from between 950 and 1020. Does that tell you that then at any given point that
Okay.
the actual answer would be 50?
The point is you're not getting accurate measurements like that. That's full of shit because I've seen with my own eyes 10 miles, 20 miles, 25 miles, 30 miles, 70 miles. So your measurements are never correct. It's not right. It's not right. Sorry.
Of the official numbers.
Stacey, you do know that height is going to affect how far you can see, right?
Of course, we've done this. Since I went to Chicago, that was at 240 feet elevation. I understand that, and every time you have to do the math differently. I get that, but you're still seeing way too far for the globe model. Point blank.
Stacey, you've never seen 70 miles beyond the horizon, though, have you?
Dude, I'm in Texas, right? And I'm literally walking yesterday. And seeing beautiful mountains that are 70 miles away, and right about 50 miles, you can see exactly where the houses are and the bottoms of them and everything. So don't tell me that I'm not seeing too far for that globe model, because I wouldn't see those houses at all. At all. Oh, really? Come to El Paso, Texas, baby, and let me show you real observations. You're full of shit.
Well, I mean, are you claiming that you see 70 miles beyond the horizon? I mean, that's a very big...
Come to El Paso and see mountains that are 70 miles away. Please show me that. Please explain why I'm seeing mountains at the bottom of the mountains or even 50 miles away. Please explain.
You can see mountains. You can see mountains because
they're looming?
Obviously.
Are they looming? No. I'm talking about, I'm figuring out where the mountain is from me, right? And I'm seeing the bottom of the mountain, and I'm seeing where houses are. Do not fool me. 50 miles at least, even 25. You're incorrect.
If you're seeing houses on the ground, I'm incorrect about what? I haven't even finished what I'm saying before you interrupted me.
Even if it's 25 miles away, you're incorrect. It's not possible on your ball.
I don't think you're really in a mode to be listening to anyone. You'd rather just interrupt.
Because you're trying to tell me about observations that I'm seeing, and I could go right at now and see exactly this point. In fact, I will. And tell me why I'm seeing that damn far for on a globe.
I was actually just trying to say what I wanted. I was actually just trying to have free will and speak my sentence without being interrupted. And you telling me what.
But you guys just keep literally spitting nonsense.
You don't let. That's not true. No one has spit any nonsense at you. You keep calling it nonsense, but you're not really listening. Everyone's been telling you things that are imminently true. Nidhug, are you trying to talk in VC?
Somebody is.
Nidhug, can you hear me?
Like you're like at 2%. Is that?
No, I could hear Scott.
Maybe I.
Yeah, I'm not at 2%. Nidhug, if you.
Yeah, I can hear Scott good.
You need to increase your volume or something because you're coming in really low, I think.
Yeah, he is for me too.
He's gone. So Stacey, can we go back to the bigger question you have about the radius?
Go ahead, honey.
So there's a bunch of different methods that you can use to get at the radius. None of them are going to give you a perfect answer because a perfect answer in measurement's impossible. Even when you do a 2x4, you're not going to get a perfect answer. And all these methods are independent of each other. And the way in which we have good measurements now, or the way in which we have confidence now, is because each of them confirms in a unique and different way the answer that has gotten to some degree of error. And in particular, the best, most accurate methods involve, like what Jim said, radar ranging of the actual planet, like actually using lasers and radar to figure out exactly where things are. And we get a very, very precise sizing and measurement that way. And that happens to conform with the measurement we get from doing the horizon method or doing the Eratosthenes methods or doing the pendulum method or any of the other many methods we have.
When you're using your radar, what are you doing? What's your calculations? What are you doing?
I think in the radar, what they're doing is they're orbiting the Earth, and they're using.
Yeah, you can just stop that one right there. Do you have anything we can't debunk?
Hold on.
We can't debunk that.
You just stopped him in his tracks. Jesus
Go ahead,
Christ.
Joe. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I mean that's fine.
You're orbiting Earth or whatever right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they orbit Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they do?
Well, they use lasers essentially to figure out where the edges of the Earth is. They know how far away they are. So they know how fast they're
So
traveling.
they're pinging lasers, right? As they're orbiting the Earth at what speed, and the Earth is spinning at what speed, and they're pointing lasers, right, at this Earth and taking measurements. Is that correct?
That's right. That's correct.
Okay. What are they taking measurements of, please?
There's got to be
the distance from them to the ground.
This is from them to the ground. That's always rotating and moving, and they're also moving too. Is that correct?
Yeah, but in
they might have accounted for that.
Yeah. Of course they count that.
How much refraction is there going to be when you're looking through all the way?
Almost none because they're going straight down. They're going straight down, Jeremy.
No, they're not. They're coming in at an angle. They're coming in at an angle.
No, they're not.
No,
they're not coming in at an angle. Straight down.
Jeremy, no, they're not. They're going straight down. I just told you that. Don't contradict me if you don't know what you're talking about.
Refraction needs an angle, Jeremy. Dumb me up on it, please.
No,
I think
you always
there's
have
like
refraction.
a 0.5. I think
No,
there's like
you don't have
0.5.
refraction. You look straight down. The false statement. So stop saying it.
There's always refraction.
No, there's not always refraction. If you're looking straight
Jeremy,
down, there's not refraction.
There's also
True.
deflection. There's also deflection. I think it's like a 0.015 something degrees.
It's
my bad. I don't
minimal.
want to
Accurate.
Yeah.
The laser shoots straight. Okay, well then don't. So the laser shoots straight down through the atmosphere, then bounces back, and they use that to figure out how far away it is. And as they do these orbits, they can figure out what the size of this thing is. And
can I see this done, by the way, that they're shooting these lasers and it's bouncing back and they're getting these signals and it's correct and everybody's spinning? Please, can I see that?
You might want to. I guess if you ask NASA if you can come along for a ride, maybe you can watch them do it. I guess.
Well, why are we seeing that? They should show us video of that. I mean, it's 2020.
Well, should they? I don't know if they
you
should.
expect us to wait a minute. But you guys, as flat earthers, expect us to do lasers that are supposed to be perfect in video and show us.
Stacy, do you think you can stop interrupting me? I don't interrupt you when you're talking.
Okay, I'm sorry, stop. But I just feel like it's a little ridiculous. I do, because you guys expect that from us, but you don't expect it from NASA.
I don't know what you. Okay, hold on, guys. If I don't interrupt her and then you guys immediately jump in when it's my turn to respond, then it gets crazy. That's why people interrupt each other, because whenever it's their turn and the back and forth, people jump in and then they feel the anxiety, so they interrupt early, and that becomes an arms race. So if I could just get a chance to respond, and then I'll back off after I've done after this, whatever, then we can take turns having the mic for a while. We don't expect that stuff from you. I don't know what you are referring to. I certainly have never asked you to do anything with lasers. I don't know who's asked you to do what, but it's, I think, a mistake and a fallacy for you guys to constantly sort of say, I once had a Glober say to me X, so now I hold all Globers accountable for X. I mean, like, nobody in here told you need to do something with lasers or said anything like that. But what they did do is, in a mission, I think it was like over 2 missions, they did this LiDAR thing. And so it's events. It happened a while back. It's not like they're constantly doing it. They may have another one scheduled, or maybe they, whatever it is. But they did it a time and got a good answer. And that's on top of the other method they have, which is they just get a full picture of the Earth, and then knowing the distance from it, they can calculate the radius that way too.
What, they know the distance from it? How do they know the distance from it from a picture?
Well, because they're the ones that took the picture, so they know how far out they went.
So a picture can basically tell you exactly the distance of something? Wow, is that measuring?
If you know the distance to something, then and you know it, and you're looking at a picture, and you know some other details like what lens you're using and that kind of stuff. Yes, you can figure out sizes. I sent you the citation for that in your DMs the other day.
Okay, I'll take a look at that too. I have so much going on, and when I get time, I come in here sometimes just to talk, and it's like, whoa. Next, then my day's over with. You know what I mean? Because you did DM me, and I appreciate that. I'll look into it. Yeah.
Okay, so
but the problem I have with that is how are you doing this, right? And then you said that we don't expect this. I'm not saying you, but yes, if I bring up a laser test, you guys say, oh, that wasn't done correctly. You guys need to show this. It wasn't level and blah blah blah. But they don't expect that from NASA. You guys don't expect us, as you said, call NASA or have them send you up there in space to see that. So you guys just believe it because you're told it because it came from NASA.
I think we would expect that from NASA. We expect NASA to do it correctly also.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I get it.
The difference in those two
No, I
types of
got
laser
it.
tests
I
is
got
that
it.
one is trying to measure an actual straight line, while the other is measuring timings between signals. It has nothing to do with the shape of the actual laser.
Can you tell me the timing between signals? And we're talking about maybe when they measured 5 billion light years away star. Do you understand how many miles away that is? And you guys are measuring supposedly light?
Yes, it's 5 billion.
Come on, and you believe this nonsense is fed to you. Have you ever done the math for that? Have you looked into how many miles that would actually be?
Have
that
you
they're measuring?
Measuring the distance to distant stars when I'm talking about bouncing.
You guys are talking about bouncing signals off of what?
Earth, but okay.
And you're not proving it.
Stacy, have you ever done the math for that to see how far away
Yes,
it is?
actually, we just had this the other day, and it's how many trillions of miles it would be. Yes, you can hook it up to Google, and it'll tell you trillion light years. Go ahead, do the miles. Trillion miles away. Go ahead, look it up. Look it up. 5 billion light years. How many miles is that?
Why are you bringing this up as something that's completely
Because
irrelevant?
this is the same people that give you measurements that you're believing that is absolutely nonsense. Same people, and then wait. I asked for proof of this, what you were doing, right, with the GPS and radar and everything, and then I was told, ask NASA to go for a ride. That's your proof. I have an issue with that.
I didn't say that. So again, I'm not sure why you keep bringing up irrelevant things.
No, Scott did. That was absolutely true.
Why you can be critical about one laser result over the other is because one is very sensitive and the other you can literally do at home. Like you can go to like Walmart or whatever and buy a distance measuring tool that uses lasers. That's the same principle they use with satellites.
Okay, how many times have they done this measurement supposedly with this radar? Please explain that. How many times has that been done so I know it's accurate? Because they say it's immensely, so how many times has it been done? So then you guys are going to defend something that you have no idea how many times it was done. It was just told you that it was done, and there we go. There's your freaking answer. And that's why I have an issue.
It could have been 100,000.
Thousands. Radar side.
No. It should better be more than one. It better be more than one because that's science, honey.
Thousands.
It was done millions of times with each.
Oh, has it? Show me that. Show me proof of 1 million times it's been done. You guys just said you don't even know if it's been done more than once.
Stop, please, Stacy. That is the whole point of the database. It's that millions of measurements. All over the Earth's surface, they take measurements of distance. So millions of times. And then you can verify that against the database of the, what do you call it? The surveys, ordnance surveys.
The geodesic, yeah.
Yeah, I know about those too, and you can look those up as well. We won't go down that path because it goes down to zero fucking help for you guys.
Stacy, what we're talking about is people that actually go out and measure it. They look at, here's this height, anyone, here's this height, here's this height, here's this height. And now what do we do when we put them all together? That's what we need to learn.
What sites are you talking about? I haven't seen any. Show me those sites you're measuring the radar. I'm sorry, with the radar measuring, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that's what I'm talking about. Everyone goes out. Anyone can go out there. You can measure it here. You can measure it there. You can measure it here. You can measure it here. Now, what do you do with those
somebody show me the measurements that they've done, please.
Stacy, what do you do with those measurements? You say,
I need to see them first.
No, you don't care. Anyway, what do you do with those?
I'm asking to see your measurements that you're claiming, please. Thank you.
Nothing you could show this woman, man.
Here's one.
Nothing.
Here's a height.
Right, there isn't anything. Thank you.
Here's a certain height. Here's a certain height. Here's a certain height.
Stacy, go look at the radar sat mission.
Go look at what,
It's Canadian, so I happen to have a knowledge of that specific one.
Okay, thank you. So there's one done when what year was it? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, there's three satellites in space in the sun synchronous orbit using synthetic aperture radar to image the Earth.
And isn't each measurement its own unique thing? I mean, that's why I say that's been done millions of times. If it comes up with millions of accurate results, isn't that millions of tests?
It depends what you're testing and show me. And just because you say you're testing it, but you're showing me no proof of that stuff, I can't believe that you've not got one video to show me that they're measuring that shit.
Launched in 2019.
Proof of what stuff? People all go up on mountains all the time.
Wait, we're
They look
showing you
out over the
lasers and all that. Show me. Show me. And them in orbit doing this stuff. Us
just
spinning, them
posted
spinning. Come on. The
to you
speed.
that you can't
Show
click
me.
and view.
You're
Hey, Gal, we
bouncing
understand your
freaking
level of
signals.
evidence is lower than ours. We're just demanding more proof that that's
shouldn't
actually
have to
happening.
show
If you
all
want
that.
commercial space, there's
Drop that
Capella
high.
Space, which is a commercial venture that's
Okay,
using
how
synthetic
do you
aperture radar.
bounce a signal off of something that is continuously moving? Please explain that. And you're going to find and bounce it
Capella
back.
Space, synthetic aperture radar.
God help me, please.
You can laugh
I
all
gotta
you
go charge
want,
my
Stacey,
phone.
but
I'll be
you're
back in 2
oblivious to
seconds.
what is
I
actually
will.
being done in satellite technology.
I'm not oblivious because you're not showing me. I'm not oblivious until you show me.
I just
Then I'd be
posted you 2
oblivious to
links, and you're saying that I'm not showing you.
Okay,
So,
I didn't know you
like,
did.
okay.
You didn't tell me you showed me the proof of them doing it. No, I don't want a damn thing stating that they did it. I want to see them doing it. Let me see them
How
doing
are
it.
you supposed to see them do it?
Show you, man.
I can show you
Because they're
satellite
doing it,
telemetry.
right? We can
I
show
can show
you
the images
our
that result
lasers, but you
from the
can't
mission.
show me their lasers.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh! Well, we haven't seen your lasers. Remember, you guys did the FE core thing.
What are you
and they never did
talking
the lasers.
about? There was an
They
experiment
said
done whether
they
you
promised
believe
they
it or
were-
not.
they
Now, where's
promised-
yours?
They promised. Listen, they
Stacey,
promised they were going to
listen.
post the video and they never did. Why was that? So it's not really true that you guys show us everything you guys
Why
do.
isn't
that we don't or something.
NASA showing me pinging?
Here's the truth.
Pinging.
Here's the truth.
Let me finish. Pinging lasers and getting results back. Please show me that. Come on.
I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you the answer to your question, which is why they don't do that. The answer is because it's absurd to think that everything ever done in the past should have some sort of video documentation for your enlightenment or your entitlement.
They just said 2019.
Obviously, they don't do that. If something happened in the past, there isn't necessarily going to be a video of it for you to watch. To demand it the way you guys do does sort of break the reality of it. You think there should be a video of everything anyone's ever done in the
Yes,
past?
everything's video.
There's no video shit, really. That's the problem.
Everything. People watch.
There's no what? I'm sorry. I couldn't understand you, Stacey. Would you say it more times, Stacey? I couldn't understand you.
In 4K.
Okay, I can't. Will you hold on for a quick second? Hear what she says?
She said there's not video of shit.
Maybe you should have anything to prove it besides you're literally giving me, we're bouncing signals off of stuff. Then show me your bouncing signals. If you're bouncing signals, you should be able to show me your bouncing signals. And wait a minute, y'all said a test was done in 2019. Where's it at?
So we've shown you video in the past. You know there's video of some things in the past, but the
I've
video for
never
everything is
seen a
absurd,
video of
right?
them orbiting, right, the Earth, like you said, and
Yes, you
paying
have.
freaking this stuff. You have never shown me, and us spinning too. Show me.
You have seen. You have seen this stuff. You've seen video
Where?
of the ISS. You've seen video. I assume that you've seen video from the ISS from the ground. You've seen video from the ISS to the ground. Right? You see both of those.
But you're not showing me them measuring the radius and doing what you're stating. Please show me them doing what you're
Why do you
stating.
think they video that? What makes you think they videotaped that?
Because why can't they? Why wouldn't they?
It happened in 2004. What makes you think that anyone thought that it was important that they videotape it?
Because they're measuring the radius of Earth.
Who cares? Who cares? They do a lot of things up there.
Wow. Who cares what we're standing on, you know?
Stacey, they do a huge number of things up there. Who cares about them videotaping
You guys are over,
themselves doing
wait.
that?
You guys are over here defending this globe every day, and you don't even care to see proof of it? Welcome to insanity.
No, but you're not listening. You're being silly. What I'm saying, hold on, Monkey. What I'm saying is, they don't care. We don't care that they don't videotape every single thing they do in space. I don't know why you would think that we should care. Why you would care?
You don't want proof.
No, we just
want someone to tell you.
It's just an absurd request. It's just an absurd request. There's just no. First of all, think about just absurd from so many different ways to think about they should have videotape of everything they've ever done. Because let me ask you a question: do you trust video anyway?
No.
No,
So
not all
what
video, but
good would a
they should at least show me some, right?
Yeah, show me some video that I don't fucking believe.
Any video you do see, you deny is real anyway. So why in the world would you care? You want to see this video, and when you see it, you just say it's fabricated.
No
Like when we show you video,
of your
when we show you video of the ISS, when we show you video of the ISS, you just call it fake. And so, what is the point of you even asking for more video when every video we've ever shown you, you don't believe?
How
But
would
it
you,
isn't, we claim.
Scott?
So why do you want more video if the videos are all fake?
Well, we don't want fake videos. We want the real, actual footage. You know,
You don't know how to
The point
distinguish
is
the
that
two
if
anyway.
every single video you guys get is fake, then it starts to be absurd at some point. You guys just don't believe that videos are real.
That's
You think
why we're
the
here,
fake,
because it is absurd.
I'd
Well,
like
so
to
I
ask a
think the trick here is
question.
that you guys should stop asking for video when every video you guys, and that's what's out, you guys think they're fake.
Scott, for
No,
2
no, no,
days I've
no,
listened
no.
to you talk nonstop, bro. You're trying too hard. Someone else is trying to ask a
I
question.
don't talk
You
nonstop, dude.
can't
I've
even
been here
hear
for
him.
all of like 5 minutes,
Dude,
Rakia.
I've been here for like 2 days. You've been nonstop. Every time I've been
I,
here, you've
I
been
haven't been here
talking.
for like 7 hours before that.
You
I've
are
been here for 5 minutes
talking
now.
way too much, Scott. You're trying too
No,
hard.
Rakia, you're wrong. I just got here. We can add up the time. I'll check and see exactly how long if you
Whatever,
want.
man.
But you are wrong.
I've been on here for
What'd you say?
hours, not today, but yesterday.
I haven't
the day
been here,
before.
dude.
You've been doing nothing.
I
but
literally
talking.
just logged in about,
Is
let's
it
see
like
here,
your
17 minutes
turn?
ago.
Is it
Oh, yeah,
like
Scott,
your turn? Is it
Enough
my
bitching
turn?
about
Are
this.
you
Just
not
just
being
eating up
here?
airtime.
Someone else just
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
a question. Someone that hasn't talked before, and you never
Hi,
heard them.
Scott. Just a quick
Rocky,
thing.
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him. But
Scrambling.
guess what,
You're
Rakia?
scrambling,
Guess what,
Rocky.
Rakia? Oh, Rakia, you do that all the time too. Like, what are you talking about? You get on the mic and refuse to hear any.
Come on, man.
And now
This
you're
is how
interrupting
you learn
me.
the tactic. We all hear it. We get it.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, I'm
Hang
saying.
on.
I think you have the
Scott,
tactic. I think you're salty about something and you're being obnoxious.
You're still
I mean, I literally
talking.
just gone 17 minutes ago.
No
I literally got on
dog
17 minutes ago. So why do you keep interrupting me, Rakia? Like, I hate to break it to you, but you're not in charge of who gets to talk here. Yes, maybe I am talking too much at this point because I'm mad at you now. But if you're going to keep interrupting me, if you keep interrupting me, I have the.
else talk.
Okay, could you stop interrupting me though? Because I still haven't gotten through a sentence without you interrupting. Okay, so dead silence means that you're going to not interrupt this time.
I've been
Anyway,
on
I think
mute
that
the
you're
whole time.
talking.
I quit talking, Scott.
My God, look at you go again. I thought you were going to calm down, Rakia. I thought you wanted people to calm down.
You sound like you're on speed, man.
Rakia,
I don't think
stop it.
Rakia. You can't stop interrupting me. It's like kind of crazy.
Scott, can I join in for 1 second?
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, Stacy, I'm curious to know what video exactly you would like. I mean, a satellite taking images of Earth. How would you like this video presented? Because I mean, all you'll see is a box floating in space, sending out invisible waves to Earth. How would you propose that this be presented to you?
I posted a live feed from NASA.
I think she went to go charge her phone. Y'all wasn't.
Hey, let other people talk, Rakia. You're interrupting everybody. Just relax, dude.
I posted
Yeah,
a
you're
live
being a
feed.
jerk.
Oh no, Rakia, stop. Just let people talk, remember?
He was completed his sentence. There was
Rakia, just let others talk, dude. He was in the middle of the sentence. Come on.
To go charge his
Just
phone.
stop, dude. You sound like you're in speed. Just relax, dude.
You're
Just
sounding
relax.
ridiculous.
Mute him.
Rakia, could you let other people talk, please? You've been dominating the mic all morning long.
Holy crap.
Well, somebody ask her that question when she gets back. It's like one of these things. I can't figure out what the hell you would show in any way, shape, or form. Because it's 250 miles up. You're going to show a picture of a box
Emitting, well, basically radio waves that you can't see.
and there's a scientist stripping a measurement, taking the tape all the way to the ground every second.
It's basically just telemetry data. That's what it comes down to. That's what it is. It's all that.
Hi, Rocket.
Even imagery is exactly that. It's just a data stream.
The proof is in the results when you get measurements from where people haven't been. Ordnance surveys on Easter Island or whatever.
Why don't we just show her Himawari 8-letter, just rip that apart and then just call it a day? Because that's basically, it's right there.
Himawari 8 should work. The Himawari should work, yeah, definitely. Show her that.
I think Jeremy needs some Himawari 8
get
for
out
his
of the
signal.
boiler room.
What's up?
Jeremy, get out of the closet, your janitor closet or the boiler room, because we can't hear you properly.
I'm lagging,
Rocket.
seriously? I have all bars.
Gentle, Rocket, gentle.
This is me being gentle. You know some of the shit that I've said.
I'm still waiting for the day some of them that claim that images and videos are fake can mention 2 or more methods of distinguishing if something has been manipulated.
Oh, that just looks wrong. I mean, that's funny right there. I mean, that thing shouldn't be looking like that. It should be moving like this.
Well, hang on.
Am I good now?
Hang on. I've got a question. So, here's a question. So, next time you get pulled over by the police in the USA and you hand over your driver's license with your photo on it and they go, oh, no, that's fake. What are you going to fucking do?
You know, now that you
Nothing.
actually
It's a
mentioned
police
now
officer.
that you actually mentioned someone getting pulled over for speeding, that brings up something that Stacy says. Like, how do you know that you can even take a measurement
Oh,
of something
wow.
while it's moving with radar? It's like, because we do it all the goddamn time. It's called speeding tickets.
Yeah, we have red light cameras here that pick up that you've gone over a sensor and then take a snapshot.
Yeah, we
When
got
she was
that too.
commenting,
We got that too.
when
I
she was
think her main
commenting
contention
about
is the fact that
measuring
the police
things,
officers
sorry,
are-
I was just gonna say, we're commenting on things that measuring things that change. Well, guess what? Your weight changes throughout the day, and your height changes throughout the day. So, like, and we still measure those.
Because you're physically standing on something that's right in front of you. You're not going around like the Earth is spinning
Stacy,
66,000
the
miles an
value
hour and all these things.
you were upset about a
Stupid
value that's
speed, your
changing.
You
That's a
speed
value that
limit
changes.
thing.
The first time
The
she came
radar's
back,
right by you that you passed by, right?
Yo,
And
we
view,
just
boom, and
we
that's all
just
you
said
did.
we just said the radius is only
Ah.
changing by a couple millimeters over a couple hundred years, so it's not changing that much.
Okay, hang on.
You're not
What radius are you
hitting
talking
something.
about? Do you want the
How far away
equatorial
is
radius?
that?
Do you want the elliptical radius? Do you want the polar radius? Do you want the radius at a certain latitude? Because guess what? Every one of
Whichever
those
one
ones that
Scott was
I
talking
said are
about.
all different numbers. Because they're
Whatever you got,
Stacey,
bro,
let me
just prove it.
make it clear
All
to you.
different
There
numbers
is
of radius
not
now?
one
How
fixed
many radiuses do you
value.
have?
Stacy, there's not one fixed value of the radius. There's a mean value that we use for most calculations. But there's not one fixed value. Get that out of your head.
I want the
Give
one
us
that
whichever
blocks
one you
boats. I
got.
want the radius
Wait,
that obstructs boats
There's
from the
only
beach.
one value.
No,
One,
there
and it's
isn't.
immensely accurate. And
No,
NASA
there
says that you
isn't.
better back down.
No, they do not.
NASA says that you better back.
There's not one radius.
Can I
Because
get the one
when
that
the images that
obstructs
the
bottoms
images
of
are
boats from the
downloaded
beach?
and they're orthorectified, the radius at latitude is used to do those
Can I
corrections.
get the radius that blocks boats from the beach?
Rakia, shut up.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
Let's
that's
start
the
with
radius
that
we
one.
want. Rocky is right. That's the one we want.
Hang on. I just heard Rakia on Jose's being all polite and cordial, yet he comes in here and he has
Yeah,
to
they were being
overtalk
nice.
everyone. So why did you stop doing what you were doing just an hour ago?
Because they were being cool, not being jerks.
Yeah, and who's been a jerk to you right now? Apart from
You.
Scott.
You.
How have
Apart
I
from
been a
Scott.
jerk?
You and
What have
Scott.
I said? What have I said that's
You
jerky?
butted into my
Rakia,
point and didn't answer it.
Rakia, you showed up here hot. You've been
Scott,
interrupting since you got
Scott,
here.
please.
Could you just take it down a
Are
notch,
you
man?
answering my question, Scott? The radius that obstructs boats
No,
from the
we're
beach.
refusing to answer your
That's
questions,
what we're
Dave.
talking about.
I'm just suggesting you take it down a notch. That's all.
Okay, so this is me taking it down. I'm gonna ask again. We want to know the radius that obstructs boats from the beach. Was that smooth and down enough for y'all?
But why do you say radius?
No, that's fine.
what y'all
Mean
said.
radius 637.14 kilometers. There, are you happy?
Okay, how do we measure that? You know, when it blocks 6 feet of the boat from, let's say, 4 miles, how do we measure that physically?
I use satellite images. I don't know what the hell you do.
You
I
use
use a
satellite
stick.
images
Yeah.
to measure the obstruction rate of a
No,
boat
I said
4
I
miles
use
away?
satellite images to establish the Earth radius,
Mhm.
of which the mean value that I cited to you.
Because that R value is different on basically every place on the planet.
At
But it's
24,
minuscule, right?
at 24 past the hour, I posted live feed from ISS. Now you can call that fake, right?
It's
and
fake.
so can I. I can do
The
that in
video is fake.
return.
It's all fake. You
and
see that spot in the
and-
top right-hand corner?
call
That shouldn't
all-
be there.
And call all your flat Earth P900 observations CGI and toss them out with just 3 letters, right?
Yeah, if you want.
3 letters?
CGI.
G-I.
You said fake a minute ago.
Moya,
funny-
you need
it's
to
funny how
rub your
our
chest a bit, mate. You
Funny
need
how
more
our
static.
P900s are on a physical object that everyone can go. You can also own a
I can't.
P900 yourself.
How do you know that I can go to that location?
Why'd you cut me
You
off
are-
to say that? Why'd you cut me off to say that?
He didn't cut you off.
Yes, he did.
You've
think
got a
I'd know,
lag.
right?
You've got a lag, Dave.
Okay,
It was
so
also
maybe you
deal
should
with it.
recognize that I have a lag and don't, give it a couple seconds at the end. So
Yeah,
everyone can own a P900 and go do their own observations, right?
Why don't you use a Canon or a Sony?
Sure,
Why do you
can
have to
that.
use a Nikon?
Because
I
they're
think
one of
he's.
the cheaper models, yeah, that you
I
can
think.
afford.
I think he's saying that place doesn't exist for him to take the picture at. He's denying the existence of that place. Is that what he's where he went with it?
Yeah, but I
How do you
can
know
go
that
to
this
the
is
place I'm doing my observations, and you can too. It's physical. It's a place you can go do your own observation.
Yeah, but mine don't match yours, right? And you don't show any
Yours,
difference,
you
right?
can't go to your place. You're just imagining that it's real and
No, the burden
showing
of
that it's
proof is
real.
on you to show that flatness.
No, what I'm saying is
No, it's
you
not.
didn't take that
You,
picture.
Yes, it is.
you don't understand burden of proof or how negative claims work in the slightest by from
I
what you
don't.
just
Oh,
stated.
look,
I
another unoriginal thought by Jeremy.
I
Wait,
don't
hold
make,
on,
Hang on.
Jeremy.
Are y'all
This
Jeremy, I
letting
morning,
don't make a
Jeremy
claim.
enough argument?
Jeremy, I
I'm
this,
don't
waiting
make
for
a
the fallacy. Where's the fallacy, Jeremy?
Why are
Which
y'all
one is it?
getting
this.
in someone's
Hold
name
on, gentlemen. This morning, Jeremy shot himself in the foot on this one.
again?
He
Mentioning
was
someone's
making
name.
an assertion that about water boiling, and then he proved that it didn't boil. So he actually
No, I didn't.
had to take on the burden of proof in order to
That
disprove
never happened.
Scott's
This
theory.
is this
Let's
is an
hear from
Hang
that
outright.
on.
conversation.
Hang on.
Wasn't Scott here too this morning?
Hang
Yeah.
on. Moyok, is this your word against his, or do we have other witnesses to this event?
As who was there at the time? Curved. Scott was there, I think.
His method is flawed. He didn't use the
Wow,
method.
Scott's here a lot.
No, he used the method, and you had
Hey, Monkey,
used proof.
do you want to what do you want to do? What's your issue here exactly?
That conversation with me and Beach is on hold. I said we'll get back to that.
Yeah, could we get back to that now? I'd like to hear
No,
this.
not right now. I'm at work. It's too much.
Convenient.
I got to look into it.
You're
There's
always at
things I got to
work.
do. Not convenient.
You're always at work.
No,
You're always
well,
at work.
I do work a lot. I do work a
You
lot.
know,
I'm a hustler.
it becomes when you make against the general consensus, when you have something to change, you actually absorb the burden of proof in order to disprove it. Yes.
No, that's
and you
not how it works.
exemplified that when you disprove Scott's theory.
Not how it works. You don't understand proving non-existence.
That's not
It's
proving
it's
non-existence.
fallacious. I didn't
Not
want to say
proving
anything, but
non-existence.
it's highly fallacious. If I
You
say
proved-
Earth curve
you
doesn't
proved that his
exist,
theory was wrong.
you haven't
because
proved
didn't
it.
there was another variable involved. Remember? Were you here the whole time? I mean, were you
You
confused,
haven't
or just were words coming out of your mouth without you knowing?
You haven't proved. You listen. You haven't proved Earth curve. It's fallacious to say I got to prove it when you're the ones making the claim, and I'm saying no, it doesn't exist.
No, you're saying all our evidence is false. That's positive.
We've debunked and dismantled every argument you have with the radius.
Only with
what are you
words.
talking about?
Jeremy, I'm not making a claim. I'm not a globe. I'm a flat Earth skeptic. So can you provide evidence for that flat Earth?
If you're denouncing the globe, then why are we even talking?
I'm not denouncing
If you're
anything.
not a glober, then
I'm not denouncing. No, I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I said I am not a glober. I'm a flat Earth skeptic. So I'm waiting for you to present that evidence for that flat Earth.
Why would
If
you
you're
want
not
someone
a-
else to
if-
present evidence for you? You can go out and do it yourself. There's no
If you're
drop
not a
horizontal. You can
It's
go
your
manual.
claim, is it not?
If you're not
Are
a
you not
glober or a
Are
flat
you not a
earther,
flat Earther?
hey,
No.
if you're not
Are
a
you not a
glober
flat
or
Earther?
if you're not
And
a
Yes,
are
I'm
you
glober
telling
or
you
a
how you
flat
can prove
earther,
it yourself. Why would you?
Are you
trust
not
me?
a flat Earther anymore?
What are you talking about? I've never been a flat earther. The Earth is not flat.
Oh, okay, great.
It's not a sphere either, buddy.
It's
So
not
then what is it?
very. It's
So
supposed
then
to
what
be.
shape does it have?
Well, the water, when undisturbed, lays horizontal, and then things rise up above it from sea level and
And
from
what's
lake
the
levels.
overall shape?
That's called
What is the
elevation.
what is the overall shape?
The overall, without if you took away all the mountains and valleys, it would be
Yeah.
a plain, flat plain.
So you are a flat Earther, right?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
You make the claim. You claim that it's flat.
The
So you
Earth
claim
is
it's flat.
not what you think it is. The Earth is the land. There are hardly any flat surfaces of the land. Even under the water, it has valleys and hills and rocks and mountains.
So you
That's
claim
not the
the
Mariana
overall
Trench.
shape to be
The
flat.
land only is not flat itself. No.
But you, the
flat
overall
also
shape
isn't
is
a
flat,
shape.
right?
So
Yeah, the
you
Earth
still
is the
gotta
container.
figure that
Yeah.
out, don't you?
You're in a big
So
bowl.
you are a flat Earther.
Well, if that's what you want to call it, I'm not ashamed of saying
and-
that it's not a sphere. If that's
And
what you're asking.
can you provide the evidence for that flatness?
Yes, and I can also show you. You can also do it yourself.
And where is that evidence?
Come on down. It's in Louisiana. I'm sure it's where you're at too. I'm in Louisiana though.
And where is
The
that
evidence
evidence?
is all
Can you
around you.
present that evidence?
7 billion people should have dropped from
What
horizontal from their feet and
billion
don't.
people think or know is irrelevant? Can you present that evidence?
You're
Yeah, I agree.
showing
I
proof
agree
that
with
the
that.
Earth isn't a globe. You're not showing proof that it's flat.
What are you talking about? Take away curvature, and that's a flat plane.
No, take away curvature, and you could have a box. You could have a pyramid. You could have a cylinder. You can have a hexagon. You can have a dodecahedron.
A bigger
But
curve.
you would have
But
when you create
flat
a
is not a
horizontal.
shape. So you're
That's
going to
a
have to
shape, though.
apply
Yeah,
that
right. That's a
flatness
shape.
to
So
a
when
shape, and then
you
tell us what
create a
that shape is.
horizontal over those shapes, you would have drops in different measurements. Over what we're talking about, you don't.
And you specifically made the claim that it's flat. So provide that evidence, please.
Yeah, drop from horizontal. Yeah, that's my
And
evidence.
where is that
There is
evidence?
none.
Show it.
Over every
Where's the
undisturbed.
video? Where's the
Are you
video
listening?
of the flatness?
Rocky, the
You
burden
don't
of
ask
proof is
questions.
not on, Rocky. The burden of proof is not on you. These guys don't understand how it
Yes,
works.
it's on you. You claim
They've
it's
made
flat.
a claim. They've made a claim that the Earth is curved, right?
You
We're
made
saying
the
that
claim
don't.
that
We're
you
saying
made the
that
claim
don't.
that the
Yo, I'm
Earth
right
is
in the
flat.
middle of a sentence, bro.
You made the aim the
They're
clear.
saying that. They're saying that the Earth is curving. We're saying that doesn't exist.
Jeremy, shut up.
It's
You're not in
fallacious
this
to ask someone to
conversation.
prove
That's
non-existence.
not what he's talking about. We're not talking about denying the globe right now. We're talking about providing proof for the flat Earth. So you can take the
If it's
globe
not
stuff
curving, what else
and
could
put
it
it
be?
away. That's a great question, Jeremy. What else could it be? If it's not curved, if it doesn't have a spherical surface area, then what could it be?
It could be all sorts of things, but it measures a flat plane. You observably see a flat plane, and you can measure that it's a flat plane. And how
No,
you
we
do that,
don't. That's not
and
true.
how you do that,
Rockier.
and you can
You
also
can
tell
say
men
that,
from
but
women.
flat
But
isn't
some people
an
say you
object.
can't. But I say
Flat
you can.
isn't a shape. So
Yeah,
you
it is.
still have to answer the question of what shape the Earth is.
Well,
What are you
undisturbed
talking
water
about? Flat
is
isn't
horizontal, and above that you're gonna have, and below that you're gonna have valleys and mountains and hills. But
That's
every
cool.
water is contained by a container, so every water has some type of earth, land, that is above it.
Okay, so what's the shape of that Earth?
Container? All different shapes. Like it's
Like what?
It has terrain.
Okay, what are its
elevation.
dimensions?
Can't give that. There is
Why
no.
can't you give that?
Well, it's unknown.
Why is it unknown?
It just is. Why is God unknown? It just is.
We're talking about something tangible. God is intangible, but the Earth is tangible, so why isn't it known?
Right, you can measure it in small sections. That's
okay. So why haven't you?
What they have.
Can you assemble those small sections together?
Sure.
All right.
All right,
So
so-
what is the end result then?
A flat plane.
Okay, but what are the dimensions of this flat plane?
I don't have them at my fingertips, but
I can give you the curvature for it.
Does anyone
0
have the dimensions at their fingertips? Anyone in voice chat?
0
Do you have the
inches.
dimensions for the flat plane?
0
Yeah, I can
inches
give you-
per mile squared is the formula.
that's
Hang on.
definitely the formula for
Hang on.
curvature over undisturbed water.
Yeah.
What?
Can't back anything up, huh?
No, they can't. Which is funny because they always scream 8 inches per mile squared, yet they go, oh, it's 0 for water.
No, 8
Good
inches
job.
per mile square would be your silly model. That's what.
No, that's Rowbotham's model.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, we're not
which
talking
is-
about ours
He's
though. We're
talking
talking
about
about
the sphere with the
talking
given
about the flat
radius.
one.
Your model.
So is there a border to this? Like, is there a Terminator line where there's no longer Earth,
Don't know.
or does this keep going forever?
Who
Wait,
knows?
hang on.
Can't go there.
Hang on. If there's 0 drop on the flat Earth, why does it disappear at the horizon?
Who cares? We know it's not Earth curve. It's not.
No,
Your
no,
guys
no,
are the
no,
ones.
Positive plane,
that's
positive
no.
plane.
You want to talk
Stop.
about optics? That's cool. Horizon.
No,
atmosphere, yeah.
stop,
Awesome.
stop. Dave,
Jeremy
hang on a
doesn't
sec.
care.
I want to answer Jeremy.
Don't
Jeremy,
care. We know it's not Earth curve.
Jeremy, I didn't say that. I
You
said
said what's blocking
why.
it? Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
care
I said
We
why,
know it's,
not what isn't.
we know it's not Earth curve.
No,
Who cares
why does
why?
it disappear at the horizon? Shouldn't it continue?
Are
If
you
it's
asking
zero
why
why
would
drop?
it continue?
see
That's
forever?
ridiculous.
Because that's
Why
how
would it?
that's how something that's flat works.
Yeah, you know
no,
things
the ground
disappear
ramps.
over flat plains, right?
I'm talking to Jeremy,
You
Rakia.
do know that though.
I'm talking to Jeremy.
Yeah, I hear
Keep
you
your mouth
talking
shut.
to him. Now you're talking
Yeah.
to me. Don't tell me to shut
No,
up.
keep your mouth shut. I don't
Yeah,
want to talk to you. I'm talking to
I know you
Jeremy.
don't because I
Jeremy asked me
you're
the
denying it.
question.
Shut up, Dave.
So everybody
So
can jump in
Jeremy.
on us, but we can't
So
add anything,
Jeremy.
right?
All you've been
I'll
doing
ask
is
you
jumping in on people, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Jeremy, I'll
Scott.
ask you this
Dave,
question
shut up.
again, mate. Why is it that it disappears at the horizon and not at another arbitrary point?
Okay, because the ground ramps up and the sky ramps down, creating a horizon, right? You understand how that works, or no? Because if not, I don't think we can go farther.
Wow.
How does it ramp up if it doesn't go above your eye level?
Are you saying the ground doesn't ramp up? That's your claim?
No, it doesn't.
It falls away, Jeremy.
It appears the ground appears to ramp up. If you thought I meant actually ramping up, then...
Remember, apparent, not actual, apparent. Perspective.
All right, we were playing semantical, pedantic word games. Okay.
No. We're playing actual word games, not perspective word games.
Okay, so apparent. Now move on. You know that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It appears to rise up.
So hang on. So here's the big question, right?
Oh,
so if it disappears, if it disappears at 4 miles, right? If you're standing at the beach, how come you can see more when you go up? Shouldn't it disappear at the same?
Your angle. What do you
Hang
think?
on. Hang on. I wasn't finished. All right. If you go up another foot, how much further should you see?
Yo, how many days can we go through the same exact thing?
This is your guys'
over?
claim that there's
Every
zero
single
drop.
day, dude.
Good question.
Every
Good
day
question.
we go through the same exact. Oh, if you rise up, how come you see more? That hasn't been gone over 1,000 times.
No, I asked you a specific point.
You're making an
If you
angle
go up
change.
1
You're looking through
foot,
you're also looking through a different medium.
at 1 foot higher.
Yeah, you're making an angle change, and you're also looking through a different medium now.
Yeah, but you're also you're also looking further.
Hold on, let him respond. Let him respond.
What changed in the medium?
The layer of air you're looking through. It's not the same layer of air you were looking through before.
Hang on. You only went up a foot. You
Okay,
didn't change your distance from your position.
So it's not the same air you were looking through before. Then it's different.
But why would the air be different?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because you moved. Why wouldn't it
Right.
be? Exactly.
No.
That's the question.
So what? Hang on. So you're telling me if you look down towards the ground, that air is different to if you look up?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, come on, there's layers, and as you go up and you keep continuing to go up, that medium is going to change. And if you don't think so, I'm sorry, that's going back to school. Is that correct or not
We
correct?
only
Let's get honest
one-
here.
Hey,
So
we only went
1
up
foot, it doesn't
Yeah, 1
change anything? The chemical makeup? Nothing? 1 foot.
You made an
let's
angle
Google
change.
that.
You made
All right,
a move.
all right.
You
Stop,
moved
stop.
up, so you made. Hold on. You
Jeremy,
moved up, so you made
stop.
an angle change. Hold on, I'm
No,
right in the middle.
this woman
All right,
has
go
gone
ahead,
and
go
fucked this conversation up for you. You're at
no,
the beach.
you are.
Hang on, Jeremy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stop. You're at the beach. You're at sea level. All you've done, right, is you've crouched down to 5 feet and then you've stood up to 6 feet. What has changed the atmosphere between there?
You're looking through a different angle. You've made an angle change, obviously. Do we agree on the angle change?
Answer the question. What has changed the atmosphere?
We have to know that first.
This will directly lead into this. Have you made an
No,
angle change?
answer my question directly. You've crouched down to 5 feet. You've stood up to 6 feet. What has changed the atmosphere from your position?
We've made an angle change.
As your position change and angle.
No, what has changed the atmosphere?
Let me just explain it.
I'm not talking
Right,
about your angle. You guys said
Okay.
the atmosphere changed, that you're looking through a different medium.
Because we've made an angle change, and we're now not looking through the same air that we were looking through before. It's different. Not the same air.
You have evidence of that?
What the fuck? Are you nuts
Well,
right
do
now
you-
or what?
No, do you have
evidence that you're not looking in the same?
No,
You want me
do
to
you
draw
have
this
evidence
out on a
that you're looking
diagram?
through different medium when you've just moved 1 foot?
Do
you have
do
evidence
we
of
have
this?
Is there a gradient on Earth? Do you need evidence of the gradient, pressure gradient on Earth? The amount of
Oh,
turbidity
is there a
in the
pressure
air?
gradient? Is there?
You're just being silly. Let someone. You better fall back, youngin.
Who are you calling
Okay, are we
young? I'm
actually,
older
wait,
than
we're
you.
trying to verify a foot above my head, and then you're trying to talk about the sky, and its elevation is a lot higher than that. So what are you talking about? Let's not compare the same thing, because it's not.
I'm talking about the 1 foot change in your position. How is the
Where?
density
Where are we
of
talking
that?
about? On the ground or up in the
Did you
sky?
not? All right, stop. Did you not listen? I sounded it out. You're standing at the beach at sea level. You have crouched down to 5 feet. You stand up to 6 foot. What has changed in the atmosphere when you did that?
The amount of the grade. You're looking through a different layer of the gradient now because you went up. Are you delirious or something? Why is no Globers jumping in to save you?
You can't
That's
answer.
what
I
I'm
asked
wondering.
what changed in the atmosphere, not your distance, not your angle. What
The
changed in the
gradient
atmosphere?
The gradient changed.
No.
Obviously.
What's wrong
No.
with
You
what he
said
just
it was
said?
you said it was a different density.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Is it
what changed the
not?
density as you went up? You would have gone through less, wouldn't you?
Oh my God.
There's a pressure gradient.
There's your answer.
Why are no Globers jumping in to save you is what I'm wondering right now.
No, he just
Jeremy, you've
answered his own
You've
question.
already tied the
Literally.
noose, put your head in it, thrown it over a tree, and kicked the horse. You're done.
What do you mean I'm
Okay,
done?
you know what?
Jeremy.
What do you mean I'm
Can
done?
you guys show me?
You just
You
don't get it.
lost, and you're saying I'm done.
Oh, Jeremy.
Right. I don't care what you say. The
air.
gradient changes. Come on, this is stupid conversation. If you're going to sit here and argue
Yeah.
with Jeremy,
You're
that as you
backing him
go
up on
further up, that it doesn't change. You just said the density is different. So if the density is different, the medium's different. Stop being stupid. Thank you.
How far did we
Whoa.
fucking move?
1
1
Pascal.
foot.
Okay,
1 Pascal approximately.
Is the density different than that 1 foot? If it is, the medium has changed. In the story.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
that's not how that works.
This is not how. Are you guys backing?
I mean, come
that
on.
bullshit
Like
cipher
the
up on
medium
me?
has changed in the sense that like the medium is air that's moving, so the medium is constantly moving.
It's constantly changing. Thank you, Scott.
No, but
there
if
we
the-
go.
if
Some
the
intellectual
surface is flat,
honesty.
you're only
That
looking at
isn't-
the air above
Yeah, but that
it,
isn't a
one
problem.
foot
To act
higher.
like that's a
He's
problem
right.
is dishonest.
He
said it pretty clearly.
V,
If you're
he asked me,
flat,
Xanax, not your turn to jump in, Xanax.
Stupid.
He asked me what changed.
Whether you move 5 foot to 6 foot or not. That's not what he's talking about.
It was this guy's
Yeah,
turn.
well, that make
He
a
asked
difference.
me what changed, Beach. That's why. Who cares? I'm telling him
No,
everything.
I said what
Not only the
changed
pressure
in
gradient.
the atmosphere.
Nothing
You went to a
Right,
slightly
nothing.
lower.
Thank
asked me
you.
why-
appreciable
you asked me
change in the
why I-
atmosphere is the answer that the flat earthers refuse to give.
Nothing
asked me what-
changed in the atmosphere. That's what I was looking for, but you couldn't answer honestly.
There's a
I
pressure
still don't
gradient.
get that
You're
from
looking
what
through
you're
a
saying.
different
I'm confused.
gradient. There's a freaking pressure gradient, and you're now looking through a different gradient.
The pressure decreases by about 1 Pascal when you stand up.
Okay,
on
so
it.
did it change or
So-
is it the same?
So what? So I'm not sure what
So
you're trying
not
to
the
drive
same,
at.
as in it changed.
Did the gradient change though, Jeremy? That's the question. If
You're
everything's
looking
going
through
to
a
a vanishing
different
point,
gradient now that you're high.
hold on, Jeremy. If everything goes to a vanishing point and you're looking at it from 4 feet or 5 feet, and then you go to 6 feet, you're just looking through a straight line of a lesser gradient. That's not going to change your refraction. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's
Certainly not going to change it
something.
in any way that you can notice.
So it is going to change it, Beach. You admit?
Why would
is
it
gonna
change if you're looking
it?
straight
I
through
don't
it?
know. I don't. I honestly just don't know, to be honest with you. I just don't know, to be honest with you. It's
Right,
such
we'd
a
have to
small
we'd have
change.
to just measure it, but it'd be a
It's
small
such-
change possibly. Yeah.
It
I
only
mean, you know.
changes
And
because
so
it's
it's so small that I'm not sure that it would be any. It's so small. I'm not sure it would be any different than the fact that just from second to second,
Okay.
the atmosphere is changing.
But does that even
So
matter
there's
deeply?
always
Because
that
at the end of the day, it changes, and we know that's consistently changing. We can just admit that and move on. Is that correct?
If I'm following a jet at 30,000 feet and then I lower to 25,000 feet, does that jet change position because we're going at a different gradient level? Because that's what you're saying. If the surface is flat, what would be the difference between two airplanes that are the same altitude?
Listen,
Nothing.
he asked me.
There'd be
He
no-
asked me. He said,
There'd
"I
be
go
no
to the
gra-
beach."
There'd be no gradient change. Just
He
a
said, "I go to the
level
be-"
of pressure
All right.
change. Hold on. So what you're saying, if you're assuming, see, you're mixing yourself up between accepting the
This
Earth
whole
is
thing's a
flat
straw man, but
or accepting the
please
Earth is
continue.
no, I'm not. It's not a straw man at all. I'll tell you why. Because if the Earth is flat
If you're at 5 feet, like what was said, and you go up to 6 feet, the gradient doesn't change. You're just at a different level of the atmosphere. So there's no difference. There's no change in refraction at all because you need an angle of incidence. The reason we have an angle of incidence is because the surface is curved. Then you start looking down, further down to that same point in the distance. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, if I'm at the beach at
Wait,
1
is
foot,
that a hand wave, or are you
oh
going to say
my
yeah?
God.
I understand. Do you
Yeah, it's
understand?
about the optical corridor.
Did you opt to see if you're at
1
4
foot.
feet and you're looking at an
Vic, I
object 4
wasn't
feet?
listening to
Hold
you
on.
off the jump. I'm not even listening. Go ahead.
Well, I need you to listen. I need you to respond and
You
say I
weren't even in
understand.
this. Why are you even talking right now?
Because this is an open forum, Jeremy, and I heard you guys struggling. I thought I might add something that might add clarity.
Actually, Zanik, I'm going to tag to you, mate. You can take over here.
Yeah, of
I don't
course,
want to
because you
take
lost.
over. I just thought I'd bring up a point.
You better tag off to somebody. You better, because
Jeremy, you
lost.
couldn't understand what I was saying, and
You said,
and
listen, let me
Stacy
explain.
comes in and derailed what we were talking about because
Let me
she kept
explain
going
what-
up and up and up. I was talking about.
I didn't
a
derail
small-
anything.
Shut
Let me
up.
explain what
Calm
just
I
down.
was
happened.
talking
You
about
said-
a small
Hold
height
on.
increase of your position. You didn't
Yes.
change your
Let me-
distance. You didn't change anything
You
apart
did
from
change the
how
distance.
to-
You're delusional. Let me explain.
Hang
Please,
on.
You're
How
triggering
did
me,
I
bro.
change the distance if you all you did was go from crouching to standing up?
Okay. From your eye line.
How did the distance change?
No, not my turn to respond, or you're going to keep going? From your
No,
eye
answer
line.
the question. How did the distance change?
I'm trying to. You make your triangle, right? You guys love trigonometry, right? Make your triangle from when you were crouching to sitting. You don't think the distance changes? You don't even you're like, are you trying to trigger me or?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I can't believe we're even arguing about
But
this.
hang on. That
Right.
means that that your adjacent line changed
Oh my
to
God,
the
bro.
point.
Concede. Just concede.
Your adjacent line.
Concede, bro. Seriously, you lost.
It's not worth even arguing.
This is
I'll try
stupid,
this
I
again.
know.
Hang on, you asked me a question. Do you want the fucking answer or what?
Make your
I
triangles.
thought you gave it.
Make your triangles, bro. Tell me your distance didn't change.
All right, so if you increase the height of that back line, right, has the distance to the end of that triangle changed from your
You know what?
position?
I'm in a school.
Yeah. No.
right?
Listen,
I'm gonna draw this out on the blackboard for you.
Listen.
Hold on.
Jeremy, what is wrong with you?
Well, technically, the distance did change by about 1 millimeter, probably. So
it changed.
So if you lean forward 1 millimeter,
The point is changed. We've already said this. What the fuck is going on?
Shut up, Stacy. So if you lean forward 1 millimeter, that'll get rid of your change. Do you think that the observation will change now? Does that change have any bearing on it?
Now we're leaning forward too, and if you're gonna look left,
I'm leaning forward 1 millimeter. I blinked.
Listen,
I inhaled, so my head's a millimeter closer. Does that change anything?
Now we're leaning. Why are we even talking about this?
Yeah, because this is what you're doing, Jeremy. Jeremy, this is what you're doing. Stop saying concede, you twat.
You're not gonna?
Jeremy, you still haven't explained to me why it dips away at the horizon, have
Did your
you?
distance change?
Why has it disappeared at the horizon, though?
Did your distance change? We're not.
Why has it disappeared at the horizon? Because if the horizon is fixed, that value changes as well, doesn't it?
Jeremy, you like to quibble over these things that are insignificant.
No, listen,
like you
this
say,
all started-
you're kind of. I'm still talking. You're quibbling over a distance change of, I think I'm being generous when I say 1 millimeter. But if you were to eliminate that millimeter change by leaning forward slightly by 1 millimeter, or inhaling, or wobbling on your feet slightly, it doesn't change the fact that the object reappeared. So it's an insignificant little thing that you're swatting over.
This all started when he asked me if I'm at a beach and I'm crouching down to 5 foot and then I stand up to 6 foot, what changes? I started
actually,
listing off
the original
multiple amount of
question,
things that
Jeremy,
changed.
nice straw
All
man.
right.
The original question was, why does it disappear at the horizon?
You said when I move up to 6 feet, what changed?
No,
because I told
my
you
original
things-
question. My original question was, if it's a 0% drop, why does it disappear at the horizon? You couldn't fucking answer it.
question, but whatever. You lost, bro.
Right. You know what? Let's move on to something else. Like, seriously.
Who the
But
fuck
Jeremy,
are you anyway?
I get it. What are you talking about? I'm listening, and we're all listening here. And if we don't want to hear because it's the same conversation the whole time,
no,
then,
but all you did was
you
derail
sound
the
like a child.
conversation. And so do you.
I stayed right on topic, and you don't like it.
No, you didn't.
gotta give it to
You
him, though.
changed the
Zanuck-
variable. You
Zanuck
didn't
did
stay on
try to-
topic.
Zanuck did
What
try to
variable did I
save you,
change?
Because you kept going up and up and up.
No. I said any time that you go up, the medium changes. Is all I said. Don't play games with me.
You're also
Okay,
increasing
so
the distance.
Hang on.
making an angle change.
Hang on. So are you telling me that the atmosphere changes as you go up? Or is it still the same stuff in...
It's continuously changing. You just had Scott tell you that even. This is stupidity. To have this conversation and refuse. It's stupid.
Hang on.
Why don't you actually... No, how about you hang on? Why don't you show me some construction of the ISS? I bet you never find any. It just magically appears in space. Go finish. Have fun with your stupidity.
Hang on.
Please stop acting like that.
Hang on. How did we change from talking about the horizon to going up to the ISS being constructed?
Because I'm trying to change the damn subject because this is a stupid conversation.
It is weird. They have no construction of that. I mean, come on.
I mean, right, it just magically, here we are in space and simulations, right? Where's the construction of that, huh? Show me that one. Get something real talked about.
Except there is loads of videos of the construction of it.
Show me, it's all simulation. Please show me it constructed down here on Earth. Thank you, Jim. I'd love to see that because I've been looking for that. If you actually can, I will concede to that. No problem.
If you didn't have a hard time understanding anything, you basically...
Yeah, I want to see him putting that shit together out in space.
You can see...
Right! Putting it together anywhere. Show me.
You can see the launches of it. You can see the launches of each module.
I'm not asking for the launches of your module or your rocket. I'm asking for the construction.
Can you shut the fuck up and let me finish? And then
I know you're
as usual responding to something I didn't say. Okay? I was about to provide a list of the sort of things that you can see. But of course, you got to the first item on the list and assumed that was the entire list and then started complaining that that was the entire list. If you just...
I just asked for one thing, Jim. Don't play around.
Stop being a bitch.
Shut your mouth and listen to a whole every now and then. You might learn something.
What are you talking about? I just sat and listened to you guys go on and on for how long with the same thing, and I didn't see a word in the conversation until I got sick of hearing it.
Oh my gosh,
Stacey,
Stacey, stop
after
bitching.
a few seconds, Stacey, like you always do. You're terrified, absolutely terrified of
I'm shaking.
hearing anything that might challenge your silly beliefs. And so,
Then show me the construction of the ISS. That's the only thing I asked for.
And so you try and blot them out. There's a video here that Dr. Wire has just posted.
Oh, is it a real video of them constructing it? Oh, wow. No, it's not. That is them literally showing me what? This is a joke.
Okay, have you looked at even a second of it, Stacey? How many seconds of it?
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, so you haven't looked at any of it at all until just now, but before just now, you were able to critique it.
Very talented. She already had her, I don't believe it, in the hopper, so she didn't have to look.
No, what are you talking about? You asked me if I've seen a second. I was already playing it as you were asking me, and I said I'm watching it right now. What is your fucking point? Again, you make claims that you cannot prove, Jim. Calm down.
What's the problem with it? Is what my problem is.
Let's go over what is not the problem with it.
There's a problem. What's
Okay,
the problem?
I'm sitting here waiting. I'm waiting for exactly what I asked for, and not a simulation, not some BS. I want to see it constructed, and then you can put it out into space.
Okay, what point of the video?
Or constructed in space.
What point of the video are you at now?
Well, I stopped it to come back over here, so I'm about 45 seconds in because you keep interrupting me, and I have to go back to unmute. So can I watch it now, Jim?
Well,
Thank you. It's already. It starts off as a simulation, Jim. Even come on.
Well,
and it's the freaking what? Discovery Channel, probably.
Hang on. At 45 seconds, it's not a simulation.
Okay, so it's already in space, no construction. At 45 seconds, let's go to it again because I already closed out of it because there's no construction to this damn thing. None. I'm fast forwarding through all of it. None.
Jem,
None.
listen to the lie as it creates itself instantly here.
Where is the construction of the ISS?
Right.
Video.
This is not construction of the ISS at all. Please show me what time in the video that I'm supposed to.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your
Video, you'll see
stupid
it.
crap for a minute. The video is called Building the International Space Station. Do you think it's possible that that has some construction of the International Space Station in it? And do you think it's just mildly possible that you skipping through it in about 5 seconds didn't reveal that to you? Do you think that's at all possible, Stacey? Or do you think what is more likely here is that you are absolutely terrified of hearing anything that might refute your stupid, oh, it just magically appeared, there's no construction of it? Because once again, you just repeat the crap, the standard flat earth crap that none of you ever bother to check is true. If another flat earther said it, it's worth repeating. Fucking hell. Why? What frustrates me about you, Stacey, is you're just so determined to be ignorant. And I just can't, I can never...
Okay, wait. You're going to sit here and go off on me, but I've asked you, what time in the video are you showing me the construction of the ISS put together? Please.
Right.
And thank you.
At 45 seconds, you were seeing part of that operation happening.
Oh, part of it? What part? One little tiny little thing, supposedly? Let me see that 45 seconds. And how long was it? My God.
At a single point in the video, do you expect
One
to see...
point?
Yes. At one point... No. Again, this is what gets me, because you twist everything. I haven't said that at one point in the video, for 1 second, you'll see the construction. You asked me to show you what point there was construction. You'd already told me you were at 45 seconds. So I told you, at 45 seconds, there is construction happening. Not, that's the only place there's construction, it's just that one point. Where did you get that from? Why are you doing this, Stacey? How do I resist the temptation to call you names when you do that to me? When you just lie and twist and cheat like that. It's
put together. Still waiting.
What are you expecting to see?
I'm expecting. Have we?
What will it look like? Describe what it will look like.
Okay, let's start with the beginning. We start with the base of it or the sides of it. We were talking about putting together the ISS. Where's the video?
Right. So, what are you expecting to see on the screen?
You must see 10 years
Did I
of video.
just not tell you?
No, you didn't tell me that whatsoever.
The walls of the ISS, every part of the ISS. Is there anything more than 10 seconds of something supposedly inside of it when it's already built, put together? Show me the damn thing being built.
Yeah, this entire video is a documentary about it being built.
But it just talks about it. It doesn't show it, Jim.
It does. The whole video is footage of them doing it.
It's simulation, Jim. And showing inside of it.
Okay, which bit is simulation? Show me which
Where is
bit.
it showing me being put together, the walls and everything?
You show me which bit specifically is simulation. Right now. Name
There's so many videos of simulation. It starts off with a simulation as soon as you hit play.
Not other videos.
This is a joke. You guys are a joke.
Which bit of this video is simulation, Stacey?
I'm not gonna mute. Actually, you're not muting me. I'm gonna mute myself because I really don't want to give you my time anymore. You're pathetic. Thank you. Have a nice day.
No, because you can't answer the question. It's just. Oh well, it has to be simulation because other flat earthers told me there is no construction, no videos.
Shut up.
Because other.
I hope you ban me because you're being retarded.
Because other flat earthers told me that, so it has to be true. So anything that shows that that's not true, oh, it's a simulation. Not going to look at it, not going to bother to discuss it, going to try and pretend that you said there was only 1 second of construction in it. I'll just try any trick I can to ignore it. You should be embarrassed, Stacey, really.
What's up, Jim?
I do have one thing
What do you...
about this
What do
video.
you think I got...
Let me go for a second. I'll just get finished.
Twists and turns that you have to do
Wait,
to
if I should be
hang on to
embarrassed, tell me how many minutes in the video is construction of the ISS. Tell me, Jim, since you know so much shit.
Oh, God,
the
stop
entire
demanding.
video, the entire video is a documentary about the construction of the ISS. Throughout, it has footage.
About
Shut
it
up.
does not
Shut
show
up.
it being
Shut
built.
up. Shut up. Again, you cut me off too early and didn't get the whole meaning of what I was saying. Throughout, there is footage of the construction. Do you understand? Throughout the entire video. Okay? God, why is it like this always?
Okay, Jim. Okay.
Because you provided what she asked for, and then she's having a shit.
Yeah, and she's terrified of it.
Well, I really hope other people see the video you provided, and I hope it's live streamed so they can see the patheticness that you give us. Thank you.
Stacey, this
You
is
should be embarrassed on your own server.
Stacey, this is a single documentary. Every mission, there's loads of footage of it, loads of footage of every stage of the mission. There's stacks and stacks and stacks of it. And if you were honest, if you had any smidgen of intellectual honesty about you, you'd be going to look. You'd be going, oh my God, all this time I've been saying there's no construction, and here's a whole documentary of footage of the construction.
Wait a minute. How long have I been saying there isn't? This is the first time I've ever said this, so you're a fucking dumbass again. The first time I've ever mentioned this.
I'm sure you'll have repeated it to newbies in there many times. You know what you're like.
Show me that any time I've ever spoken about it, I dare ya.
I can't.
Liar.
Oh, do you think I record every single thing you say, Stacey? Don't be
Well, you
silly.
were recording me before I ever came over here, and you were harassing me on my own
so
YouTube.
your
So yeah, I
claim
think you do. You told me you kept a copy of it. So yeah, I bet you do.
So your claim is now, your honest claim to me now is this is the first time you've ever mentioned this, that there's no construction videos of the ISS.
1,000,000,000%. Now try to prove that I'm wrong. Liar again.
I can't prove that you're wrong, but you are lying because it's standard flat earth bullshit.
I have never stated it in my damn life, Jim. You need help. Seriously.
So what suddenly prompted you to say it tonight then, Stacey?
Because I was changing the subject and I was thinking about it, and I Googled before I even said anything. I said, you know what, that's kind of funny. I've never, wait. But I've never seen, actually, I'm talking to another flat earther who I live with now, by the way, who also gave me the information. We're going back and forth. Then I Googled it before I said anything. And when I said something for the first time, are you the one who's pathetic?
Confirmation bias. Good job.
Let's try that then, shall we? Let's Google. What did you Google? What was
Google it.
What was the term that you Googled? Let's see what we get for it, shall we?
Construction of the ISS being built.
Right.
Look for it. Look for a video of it ever being built. It just
CGI.
magically appeared in fucking space.
I would have put CGI in the search box too with that.
Right, so...
Hey, Jim, respectfully, this video's a fucking joke.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you,
Live
Thank you,
ISS
that-
construction.
Thank
from
you for
Google.
that valued contribution. Right, so this is what I get when I do construction of the ISS and then go to videos.
There
Okay,
you go.
there are. Hang on, let's see how many results there are. There are two.
I don't need to see a screenshot. Show me the
Hang
video
on.
proof. I don't want to see the
There are-
screenshots. Thank
there
you.
are- There are 258,000 results in videos. The first one, I'll read off the first few. History and timeline of the ISS. Assembly of the International Space Station.
Yeah, can we see
ISS
some video?
assembly sequence.
I'm
International Space
asking
Station.
for the video of it.
I'm giving you a list of the names of videos, Stacey.
You're gonna read them all, though,
International
'cause-
Space Station at 15.
Oh my God.
Well, instead of blindly believing
International
it, Jim, why
Space
don't you
Station,
find one
facts
that
and
actually
photos.
shows it?
Show me the video.
Time-lapse video of International Space
Where?
Station assembly.
Show it to me.
Discovery completes ISS assembly. International Space Station off the Earth, for the Earth, and 15 years of space station science and construction.
I like
how
the
the
little rail car
International
hand
Space
pump.
Station was built. I mean, there are 258,000 videos on the subject, Stacey.
Read
So
10
you
more,
are lying. You are lying when you said you went to Google and there wasn't anything.
No, I'm not seeing
she's
it
not,
being
dude.
assembled.
be
It can
embarrassed.
say whatever it wants.
I'm reading
I
to
want
you the
to see it assembled.
I am reading to you the results of a Google search.
I don't really care about a reading. I don't care about a search result. I would like to see a video, Jeff.
Well, I care, Stacey, because you claimed you did a Google search for this. There wasn't anything, so that's why you came here and mentioned it tonight.
you're twisting and turning, Jem. Now you're
no, I'm
twisting and
not.
turning.
That's the bullshit story she's just told us.
No, you're
Not true.
paraphrasing her.
Not
Okay,
true.
what-
You're lying.
Okay, what was the bullshit story that you just told us then?
You
Why
can
did
use those
mention-
words,
Let's
but
try
her intended
again.
communicated message
Let's try
was
again.
that if you look deep
Shut
into
up,
them.
Don. Let's try again,
All right.
Stacey. Why did you mention this tonight?
Because I already explained this. Let me finish, please. That it was a crazy, stupid conversation that people were having before. So I switched the topic because I was having a conversation over here in my own home, right? And then I wanted to say, you know, wait a minute. So I Googled it. Is there any proof, like actual assembly in a video of this ISS? You're right, I've never seen something like that. And I looked, and all I saw was videos of simulation bullshit and actually, what? A diagram? I want to see them putting it together. And yes, it was. All I've asked for is a video and proof
How
of
have
them
you
putting
determined-
it together.
Okay, what process did you go through to determine that any of the videos that you've looked at were just a simulation? How did you determine?
I have looked at quite a few videos, and every single one either looks simulated because I know how computers work. Are you that retarded right now to tell me I don't?
Did you go
You
through
can
the
see it.
200,000 different videos?
Right.
Have you?
This isn't about us.
Shut up, man.
Have you ever seen it put together?
Yes, there's loads of videos.
Have you ever seen it put together?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Then show me the video.
Yes.
Then show me the video.
Yes.
Show me the video.
Stacey,
I'm going to.
Look in debate chat
Thank
box.
you.
People have posted over a dozen fucking videos.
That is bullshit, and you know it.
No. How have you established that it's bullshit? So you want a video, but anyone who presents a video, you just get to say it's bullshit.
Well, I think
or
about
it's
how
a
crazy it is
simulation.
that they got to match
You don't
them
need-
orbits.
You don't need to
identical orbit every
establish
time.
that it's bullshit or a simulation in any way. You just get to say that.
No, wait. Even the
and
ones
it's
that they're
true,
assembling, it's
and
already
it's
put
true,
together.
And it's true because you said it, Stacey. It's just, that's right. Okay, go ahead. That's
Where is
fine.
them putting the walls together? Where is them doing any of this assembly of this ISS?
What's the point?
Not some bullshit that can be faked.
Can I show
Now
her
wants to
something?
real.
So what we've got now is all of the videos that she's been presented, even though she's made no inspection of most of them whatsoever, she's decided
Things that you haven't, you're just reading.
She's decided that either they're simulations or they're bullshit. And then if we do show her a video, it won't show her might not show her the walls coming together, so she'll be able to reject it because of that. And as we just heard, videos can be fake. So it will be rejected because of that anyway. So it's just silly, isn't it? It's just you pretending that what you require to believe this to be true is a video when there's no way you're ever going to accept a video anyway. You're just going to reject it out of hand without establishing any facts about it whatsoever. It just has to be a simulation or it has to be fake. It has to
That's
be
a little bit
CGI,
twisty too,
it has to be bullshit. Well, that's her line of reasoning. She hasn't said they're bullshit. She said they're CGI. She hasn't offered any reasoning for that whatsoever. She hasn't even looked at the videos.
Well, I looked at your
all.
little 11-minute one up in the. That was some
She hasn't
bullshit.
offered anything at all whatsoever to back that argument up. Nothing. Go ahead, Stacey.
Oh, wow, now I can freaking speak. That was a speech, man. How many boxes are we standing on then, Jem? Seriously? You don't give me a chance to say my side. You just run your fucking mouth.
Oh my God.
And I really don't care because you content creators and your bullshit server providers don't mean shit to me. I want truth. You hate it when you hear it, and you want to stand on some fucking boxes and talk down to me. I'm not having it anymore, Jem.
Oh my God, Stacey.
I'm not having it.
You actually get to the point.
I've been getting to the point, and every time I try to get to a point, I get muted.
You just been bitching.
Yes, I do.
Get to the point.
Oh,
Stacey.
I'm bitching? You guys have been about feelings for how long earlier? Shut up.
Fuck, Stacey.
And your man.
Stacey, stop being such a cunt.
Oh, thank you for your kind words, sweetheart. Have a nice day.
Hang on. I don't appreciate you calling her a cunt because cunts are fucking useful.
Oh, well, that is true.
You guys are pathetic, and this is exactly what I mean, and you're proving my point.
No,
so thank you for that.
Porcupine jumped up your cunt and stabbed you?
All right.
Probably
let's all
Jim
settle
Panda
down, please.
and his bullshit.
Let's settle down.
Any other answer or question you'd like to throw at me?
Did you figure out how to prove R yet or no?
Right.
Jeremy, did you figure out how to clean a toilet yet?
Oh my
Widget
God!
told
Did
us
You guys
you?
are trash.
Have you?
Absolute fucking trash.
Widget said that you guys.
Stacey, if you don't like it, you can always fuck off. You realise that, right?
Yo,
Shut up.
Oh, of course I know
We gotta
that.
stay focused on our thing.
Apparently.
Why are you such a
Get
attention
the
whore?
fuck out of here, man.
Yo,
Why y'all let that go on, man?
seriously.
So
Oh, now you're White Knight, Rakia. Now you're White Knight. Good job.
It's not white knighting.
Yeah,
it's
God
being a
forbid he
decent
doesn't
person
rumpus the
talking
fucking microphone.
You guys, why do you do the white knight shit? Like I can't handle myself and you know it. No, he's standing up for what's right because you guys don't know how to do that.
You're out of your
Don't know
It's
what's
Appreciate your
ridiculous.
bigger Stacy,
Oh,
but
you're only white
you know,
knighting
high
if you're
energy.
simping. If you're simping, then you're white knighting. We aren't simping. We're just being decent.
Hey, Karen. Why do you say Karen?
Decent.
It's not like she talked about anyone's kids or anything. There's no reason to use the C
Fuck
word.
you and your kids, you glass-eyed fuck.
Oh my
man.
God!
What's wrong with you? Shut up.
Wow, where are the mods?
Spiraling.
Y'all don't have mods here?
Unraveling at the seams.
I see,
y'all
I
have
see all
mods
the
here?
mods that are in here.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a
it's
shame.
you know it's.
I mean, we
epic
got
thinking
Jim
about
Panda in
guys
here,
being
right?
coaching, right?
If
I
you
mean,
think
I mean,
thinking
he
about
was
that
just running his
movie.
mouth, but he's
Hey.
gonna allow it. His server.
Hang on.
Thank you.
If you think it's shameful, why are you
twice heard
still
me
here?
You've twice heard me tell him to stop.
I
haven't
told you he's here.
You've twice
Thanks,
heard
Jim.
me say that. Twice heard me say that, but just pretend that you didn't, and I did.
You mute people on a whim, Jim, and you don't
Because
mute him.
I
What's up
mute
with that?
people so I can finish what I'm saying, because unfortunately, flat earthers cannot bear to hear me speak, and they have to interrupt me all the time.
That's
Yeah,
not
'cause you're
true,
annoying.
Jim. I almost always let you finish when we're talking.
Right, and
I get a
when have
little
I ever
antsy.
muted you, Jeremy?
Wait,
Like,
Jim, why is that? Why are we scared to hear you speak?
I
Are
don't
we
know.
afraid of the globe truth?
I
Jim,
think
I see
so.
Robert
I think you
Baratheon
are, yeah.
Afraid
You-
of the
up on the
globe?
throne.
Yeah, most flat earthers are scared to have their belief challenged. Yes, that's been very, very
Afraid of
apparent to
that
me. That's
we're-
been very apparent to me.
Oh,
over the
that's
last
just
5
True to
years.
everybody.
stupid,
Don't
Jim.
nobody want
So
their
wait.
beliefs challenged. So why
Not
would
me.
they
I
be
get
flat
my
earthers?
belief challenged every day.
He's
He's saying
scared of me.
Fair
that
to
we're
all.
afraid.
True.
We're afraid of the globe truth. Can you believe that statement,
Back
guys?
off
Give
from your
me
mic.
a break.
Back off from your mic, dude. You're busting it.
Oh, the
I come
guy
here every
screaming
day.
for the last half hour at a woman. Yeah, okay.
Well,
I come
people
in
are
here every
welcome
day.
to tell me to back off my mic.
Well, Stacey actually knew how to be a decent
A
human
very
being.
loose description of a woman.
He's definitely not a decent human being. That's for sure.
Wow,
Hold
y'all are sorry excuses for men.
Hold on.
West Texas.
Hold on. Let's
trailer
just
trash.
dissect this statement. We are afraid of the globe truth.
Yes.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
Yes,
Ridiculous.
that's why. Hold on a
Globe
minute. Hold
truth.
on a minute.
That's
I've been
an
running this
oxymoron.
server. I've been running this server for 3 years. Only really in recent months have we had a decent number of flat earthers in here.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they hide away. In the time before that, every single person in here has been banned from 24/7 multiple times. Most of them. Before that, when there were hangouts and stuff, when there was stuff happening on YouTube, people were constantly banned from chat, for just asking questions, for saying anything that was challenging. They were constantly banned. Flat earthers, 4 or 5 years, have hidden themselves from anything challenging, and
now we're coming out. Sorry.
And that is well,
Jam,
not
even the
really.
flat earthers
And now
are
we're
banned
coming
from
out because you guys are
24/7.
losing, Jam. That's
Hey,
why you're
Jeremy.
flat earthers.
Yeah, well,
Even flat
Jeremy,
earthers, even I was banned from 24/7 multiple times.
If-
There's
Yeah.
a couple of mods
if we-
in the flat in 24/7 that are just loose cannons.
if
Yeah,
we were
I've been-
losing, Jeremy, what would be indicative of that? How is that?
There'd be
How-
more flat
how-
earthers coming to challenge the Globers in here,
uh,
which we see.
Well, I don't.
Right, but are the flat earthers
There's
still
probably
able to
there's
answer
probably
the
what
basic
3
question,
more
like,
than there
what's
used
the
to
shape of
be.
your Earth?
Can I ask both sides? Isn't it a little epic, like to do construction in an orbit? Like you have to, every piece you add, every time you come back up there, you have to come like on the same trajectory or get there eventually, so that everything matches up and all that, and then you keep it
I
rolling.
almost
That's pretty epic to me.
That's what we
I
use
almost
mathematics
debunked.
for.
I literally almost debunked orbital mechanics last night.
But what are we gonna?
Wait, did you really just say that?
What choice do we have other than that? Other
Jeremy
than to do
really
it that
just say
way?
No, I mean,